Richie. My name is Richie. And my name is Richie. My name is Richie. My name is Richie. I love America. Do you? Do you? A shocking song on the radio. The man was singing a shocking song on the radio. The lyrics were as follow: I love America, do you? 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 I love America. Ah, 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 I love America. How you doing? Are you staying fresh? Are you doing well? You know, it is what it is. I hope everyone here is having a magical time. You know, life, is a great thing. It's a great it's a great life is a great thing, you know? Fresh. You gotta stay fresh, bro. You gotta stay fresh. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. Are you here? I'm excited. I'm excited. I want to get this little like that. Little like that. Here you go. You like that? You like it like that, baby? Oh, baby. You like it like that? Yeah, I like it like that. So, anyways, the Bosphorus. I gotta admit, the cigar band is quite crazy. I gotta admit, the pack is pretty stout. The cigar feels light for its size, but it's small. Holy shit. That's a small cigar. That's a 4-inch cigar by I don't know what, 50, 52. That doesn't make any sense. There's some damage to the cigar, but it makes no sense. It's like it's not even at the bottom. It's look at that. Like right here, looks like there's just a tiny little, not tiny, but a 1/4 inch hole, maybe 1/2 inch hole of the wrapper. It looks like it got ripped off. I had this thing in cellophane. I just took it out. So that had to be from the factory. It doesn't make any sense. So, anyways, all right, stay fresh. Stay fresh, Joey. Farminator, what's up? The wrapper itself is Ecuadorian Sumatra. The binder is Ecuadorian something else, Connecticut. And I think there's another binder. Is it Nicaraguan? And then it's Nicaraguan fillers. I don't know. It's got a lot going on here. It's got double binders, which you could do that. So it's got Nicaraguan fillers, double binder, and in Ecuadorian Sumatra. Ecuadorian Sumatra is used heavily. I can't. I'm gonna make sure I really just go light on this cut. I don't want a cigar unraveling. Hey, hey, what's up, bro? So I'm excited to review this. Got a piece of tobacco out. I'm excited to review this. I'm gonna have some people on the show tonight, but I want the cigar. I want to just focus on the cigar right now. So I hope you all get offended. Man, Richie, I hate you, Richie. Richie, you're terrible. I hope your show ends. Richie, you're so mean. Soft, gentle heat. I can't stress it enough. Soft, gentle heat. I can't stress it enough. Soft, gentle heat. Can't stress it enough. Soft, gentle heat. Mm. This cigar is already in its last third. Getting great aromatic smells. It's a box press, but it's an oval box press. Yeah, yeah, Jeremy, that's a strong cigar. That's a dark cigar, Jeremy. Jeremy, that's a dark, strong cigar. That is the strongest H. Upman until I had the 175. So I know we started the show late tonight. Started the show late tonight. Off the bat, what is the message? Yeah, you're having a good time. You're gonna go right to Dimension X when you go to sleep tonight, man. You're gonna be sleeping like a baby. You're gonna be sleeping, good. God bless. Off the bat, this is not a strong cigar. Let's see what the cigar is gonna do. When I say it's not strong off the bat, it's not weak either. It's a medium plus. But I thought the cigar would have started off stronger considering how short it is. So we'll see what happens. The feel of the cigar, the construction of the cigar is quite nice. The bands are very nice. I mean, those bands are not cheap. Remember, this is the son of the guy that created CAO cigars. Okay, it's picking up. It's a heavy medium plus. I hope this gets at least a medium full. Pretty cool and demanding, man. Quite nice. I'm gonna give it a second before I talk about the cigar. Let me just. The flavor started to pick up on the palate and the finish. Finish is getting heavier, getting stronger, getting very spicy. Let's see what's going on. Right there, it picked up. Right there, it's medium full. Not a crazy medium full, but right there, okay, we're getting some juice. We're getting some power. Quite spicy, but not a scary level of spice, but a very lively spice. You know, when you have champagne, the bubbles are very lively. Like, wow, that's a lively drink. It's a lively spice. It's bouncing all around. It's kind of exciting little cigar here. Not an ass kicker, but a lively little cigar here. Not a very dark firecracker cigar here. Just like 65% darkness. But right here, yeah, Saturday night they're racing. It's quite nutty, quite leathery. Not an extremely dark cigar. Not a Connecticut, you know, what's it called? Not a Connecticut shade gum, but a nice experience. It's a nice experience. Nutty, quite spicy, quite amount of good amount of black pepper, but the overall blend doesn't feel extremely dark. So once again, if you're looking for a very dark, strong cigar, no. But if you're looking for a quite lively, enjoyable, strong cigar without getting to kicking your ass, I think you're gonna like this. Besides the nuttiness and the very lively black pepper, good amount. There's some other shit, vague spices that I can't place. I can't place it. So that gives the cigar a little bit of intrigue. Whether you like that or not, it's up to you. So the cigar though does feel a little different. Off the bat, the size is interesting. Off the bat, the bands are interesting. The draw is very good. And there's a good amount of power to this and a lot of flavor. So it's not disappointing. Overall, the cigar is a winner. Right off the bat, it's starting off. It's a fun cigar. It's a good experience. It's not going to be Padron level strength or heaviness or spice or darkness, but just a little less than that. Um, so like if you like a Padron 64 natural, I can see you liking this cigar, but the Padron 64 natural will still be stronger and heavier and spicier in every category, though. Although this is pretty refined, though. This does not feel like a cheap cigar at all, and the blend is quite unique. A lot of work went into this cigar. This is not a piece of shit. This is not just throw some tobacco together, see what happens. I like the cigar. I wouldn't say it's something I would have to have on a regular basis, but it's something worth trying, seeing how it hits you. Maybe grab a couple. Off the bat, my initial impressions 4.4. I like the cigar. 4.4 to 5. I think it's a very good quality cigar, a very interesting cigar, good on the spice, probably usable for everyone. Maybe it's not strong enough for guys smoking crazy shit, and it's still going to be pretty strong for newbies. And for most people, they'll still just enjoy it, because they're not looking for the extremes either way. Work of art, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. It's unique. The burn's going off a little bit. I'm just gonna let that. It's still staying even within the line. It's not getting jagged. You don't need to touch that. If a cigar is getting a little wavy, but it's all burning, don't touch it up. All right. If you have a pinpoint, what I'm saying, though, where it's leaving stuff behind. If all the tobacco's burning, even if it's not in a straight line, but it's all being pulled, leave it. Yeah, work of art's fantastic. Unfortunately, last night's work of art, I butchered it. Last night's work of art, I butchered that thing, man. I butchered it. I cracked the wrapper. I damaged it. I just did that. It'll be interesting to try other cigars this company makes. I think this is a good cigar to start off with. I think it's definitely unique. I don't think they're cheap per se. So I mean, it is what it is with that. But I mean, aim high, right? I mean, if a cigar, is not a cheap cigar, and it's quality, and people catch on to it, well, and you kind of set the standard. If a cigar is a great cigar and really high quality, and you set a low price, people are gonna buy the shit out of it. You're gonna run out, and then when you're like, man, we should have charged more. It depends, and then as you start raising the prices, maybe people get pissed. I don't know. It's different ways of doing business, like knowing your worth up front, but then whether it catches on, who knows, or lowering your bar as far as making something great, but just say, hey man, it's a new cigar. If you're a new brand, I'm saying, let's get people to love us. Just get our name out there, and then raise the price. 6 to 1, half the other. What works? I don't know. I don't know. You look at Padron. Padron wasn't always Padron 26 and Family Reservists and the 50th and all this crazy shit. Padrones were the cheap ones, the 1000s, you know, and you know, you know, and and how many years were they making the Padron 1000? The cheap Padrones. What, I don't know what year. A long time, right? So, if you look at Padron didn't start off making extremely high end cigars. Padron started making pretty strong, you know, I guess affordable, a little rough. The 1000 is a little rough, but if you want, like, I guess, like a real machismo strong cigar, you're gonna have a good time with the Padron 1000 Maduro, 2000 Maduro. They got power. They're not exactly smooth as silk at all, but you're getting a really good price. Generally speaking, let's say $8, $9. You know, it is what it is. I think we're having an issue right now with Big Firm trying to get on. Big Firm, is it working? If it doesn't work, my friend, we're gonna have to send it around. I apologize if it's not working. Yeah, Jeremy. Jeremy, what was your thoughts, Jeremy, on the what's it called? On the Heritage? What'd you think? What'd you think? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? That Heritage is a strong cigar. I know we started the show a little late tonight, and now whatever it is. Now no one's here. Gio is out with his girlfriend. Hey, big firm, check your email. Big firm, check your email. Check your email, my friend. You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Check your email, my friend. Exactly. Exactly. The heritage is along the same pedigree of the 1935. I feel the 1935 is the better cigar. Uh, um, I feel the 1935 is stronger, but I feel the heritage was darker. Now, how do you think about that? The heritage was darker than the 1935, but the 1935 was stronger. And when I say that, I mean I use that term loosely because the 1935 is a dark cigar. Uh, and the heritage was a dark cigar. They're both dark. Holy shit! The 19th. If you want to have a dark cigar night, have a heritage. Have the Monte Cristo first. The Monte Cristo 1935 because that's the better cigar. That is a very dark, strong cigar. And then the Heritage H. Upman is darker, but not as strong as but don't get it twisted. They're both dark, strong cigars. Just one's darker and the other one's stronger. But six are one, half of the other. The H. Upman Heritage and the Monte Cristo 1935 are both scary cigars. I can't stress it enough. Unless if you're a guy that's smoking tons of cigars and used to smoking real strong stuff, for most people, right? For most people, they're very intense and dark. Gio, stay fresh. Gio, you with your girlfriend? You want DVD? You want balloon? You want balloon? You want balloon? Here's the thing, and I'm going to make a prediction. The world is about to implode. The elites are about to be exposed. So, therefore, they need a major distraction, like a flare in the sky. So, whether they're going to dump a whole bunch of Chinese balloons everywhere, or whether they're going to start aliens are coming with Project Bluebeam and a bunch of fake stuff in the sky, maybe real stuff. Put some, ships out there that we've never seen, flying machines, and whatever it is. Trust me, the people are fed up with this world and the society. It's They're sick of it, and they need a war. In this case, or a world war, gives everyone a common enemy, so that way you have a common distraction. So I can't stress it enough that um, I can't stress it enough, right? And wars don't ever last forever, but when there's a war going on, people don't have time to focus on what's really going on. So they constantly need shit going on to be like, look over there. What is that? What is a war? A war is I'm not your enemy. That's your enemy. Really? It's over there. Those are the people that hate you. Really? Yeah. World War II, the Japanese people hate you. World War II, the Germans people hate you. World War II, the Italian people hate you. Yeah, we're still buying Ferrari. We're still eating pizza. We still got Catholic. We still buying Mercedes. Do you know what the Mercedes and the BMW and those factories, HK? You know what those factories were doing in World War II? But now we love them, right? It's selective, right? Japanese, I love sushi. Do you think it was popular to eat sushi in 1943? Imagine eating sushi in 1945 when we dropped the big boy bomb on Hiroshima. Yeah, I'm going to take the yellowtail, lobster crab. Yeah, crunchy salmon. You got that? Oh, shit. Wow. Hope You think they'll do it again? Whoa, shit, man. You got any extra wasabi? Wow. Nintendo. Da-da-da-da-da-da. As soon as that nuke dropped, Super Mario They realized we better make video games. Japan learned real quick. After you get nuked twice, think about that. The only place that's been nuked twice, Japan. And they are a thriving society. They make the best video games, the best TVs, right? The best electronics. I guess they had two major resets. It's amazing the history of the world. Were brought to destruction, to a Sodom and Gomorrah, like a destruction level, or Noah and the Ark, a complete reset. And they're doing fine. In fact, they're doing better than Japan is a higher quality place than most of the world. They don't want people coming in. They're good. So I don't know. I don't have an answer. Then in the 60s, it was the Vietnamese. That's the enemy. And the Cubans. Those are the communists. Then the 70s, it was Iran. And then the 80s, somewhere in South America. I don't know. In Afghanistan. Well, those are our friends. Russia's bad. Then the 90s, I don't know, the 90s. Steve Urkel, Full House, Pierce Brosnan as James Bond, Bill Clinton stuffing cigars. 90s were kind of a cool time. Then 2001. These are the bad people over here. Oh, wow. Yeah. Now 2023. The bad people are here. People that speak their mind. People that buy too much toilet paper. Bad people. People, people that believe in personal freedom. Bad people. Parents speaking up at a PTA meeting because they don't want 451 in their schools. Bad people. It is what it is, right? Our world, right, is a complete hypocrite. Our world is a lie. Because what is bad? Who is bad? Give it time. The people that tell you these people are bad, give it time, then they're not bad. Then they're our friends. So why were they bad? Oh, they were bad, but now they're good. Now they're good. That's it. They're good. What is it saying? What is it saying? You can't get on. This. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I can't help you, my friend. Shit. We're getting kind of quiet night tonight, and that's what it is. Exactly. China's watching. And listen, I don't particularly have a problem with. I don't have a problem with anybody, man. You know what I'm saying? Though, I don't pay child support to China. I I pay child support for China. It's for China. Shit, got him, got him, got him, got him. Geo's lurking. Geo, go to sleep. Put your pants on. Nobody cares. It's a nice cigar. It's a nice cigar. It's interesting. Uh, it's interesting. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
YouTube hates me, man. YouTube hates me. I don't even know how I got on.
You want to subscribe on live? The Google on bottom.
Man, I was trying to get on and in a few hours. I don't think Big D's gonna be on in a few hours.
Well,
And
yeah, but I got bad news, man. Your connection's really bad. You're majorly lagging. You're freezing, and your words are. Hold on. Is it better now?
You know what? I plugged it into the power, so I don't know.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't know, man. You're a 3-time loser, man. You can't get on the show.
Yeah, no. I think it's my
It said you had too many. Isn't that crazy? Who said you had too many attempts? And that's what I'm saying. Our society's going to. You know, in the part that you know me. I'm just talking about from my own personal experience and from my beliefs. There's a verse in the Bible that says, "If you don't have the mark of the beast, you won't be able to buy or trade." And you go, "Well, who's going to say you can't buy or trade?" You literally try to get on a live show, and somebody said you had too many attempts. Who decided that? Is there a judge? Yeah, you had too many attempts. And did you already know you? Is it 3 attempts? Is it 5 attempts? You don't even know, right? You know what I'm saying though. But
it doesn't make sense
somehow,
because it doesn't make sense. It's also you're doing it from your phone, which they know your number because you're registered. You're signing in, and then
big firm, you had too many attempts.
and it's like try again, not in a few minutes, in a few hours.
Once again, we've made our big firm. We've made our fucking decision. You know, and what you gotta say? Try calling YouTube. Who's we? Come
Oh
who's you
yeah,
know?
you'll never talk to anybody. You'll never talk to an
It's like
actual live person.
in the medieval times when they had the Spanish Inquisition. You know, where they killed 5 million people. You know, we've made our decision. Death by disconnecting. You know, whatever. You know.
Yeah, interestingly enough, didn't Google shut down for a little bit a few days ago, and
What happened?
Google I think shut down for
Yeah,
like
that's one of the first times I've seen that happen. It was hours. YouTube was down, and I heard Facebook was down. Bro, I honestly, bro, I think something big's about to go down. I think it's either going to be a fake invasion with China, or that kind. Not that they have to invade totally, but something flew over, and
yeah
what,
something's going
bro?
on, and yeah, I was just saying, yeah, there's a strange correlation between Google going down and the balloon going down. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, bro, yeah, yeah, bro. I can't stress enough, man. Like, it's like when you go to a party and there's a bunch of balloons, you know.
Yeah,
I think there's a party going to start, man.
yeah.
Because you got to think. Well, how can it not? Statistically, our world, they're constantly having wars, coming, going. So do you think we're going to have 30 years of peace? You're full of shit. It's going to happen, and you got to say, well, how do these things just happen? In my opinion, all by design. Because how could you have wars if people don't have arms, if people don't have uniforms, if people don't have money to get paid to go there, if people don't have transportation, right? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like you could be sitting outside a bar, like, oh, I got to get an Uber to get a ride to the next bar. But at the same time, they'll provide transportation to send your ass to go to war. Like, they'll give you an Uber. You know what I'm saying? Like you get what I'm saying? Though, like, if they didn't just send you to war, the war wouldn't happen. Because like I would have went, but we didn't have a ride. You know,
Yeah, this is crazy, man. Never in my lifetime have I experienced this with like every other day. There's a news story about an object. Now it's just object, but I
this is
don't
the
want to.
plan. They're gonna call it aliens or whatever it is, or it's gonna be. In this case, in my opinion, aliens are really just fallen angels because they always talk about aliens abducting people. Well, I'm gonna go once again from my personal experience. In Genesis 6, it says the fallen angels took wives and then they had children. The children were giants. They were called Nephilim. So they took whoever they wanted and they mated with them. And that's why God flooded the earth in Genesis because he's like, the children were so big and powerful. And that's why the old stories of these giants. And they were destroying the world. Anyways, you look at alien abductions, right? Oh, they're just taking people whoever they want, and they're impregnating them or doing whatever. Dude, I'm I don't think an alien wants to take me. First off, I can't get pregnant. I identify as a male. It's, what I'm saying. Imagine you get up to an alien ship and you're like, listen, I can't get pregnant. He's like, I know, I'm 451. You're like, oh no, I know. He's like, wait, so you're just doing this to do it? Yeah. You're like, ah, shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like a bunch of female aliens. You're like, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, is if I get adopted by aliens and I just see dudes, I'm gonna be like, shit. All right, you're gonna have to fight me to the death. You know what I'm saying? That's
Like, where are the hot chicks from Star? Yeah, I saw in Star Trek. It's like, it
it's,
doesn't
well.
exist
Here's
here.
the problem too. What if you get abducted on a female alien ship and you think they're female? Right? Shit. I'm just saying it's a possibility. You know what I'm saying?
Anything's possible nowadays.
I,
We live in a crazy world.
Bro, if you get abducted on an alien ship and you're tied up and a bunch of female come in, but then the song comes on the intercom, it's raining men. You're like, oh no, 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 it's you know, um, that would
It's
be that
crazy,
would be
man.
a terrible situation. But yeah, honestly, bro, the fact because the media is all controlled by the government, the fact that they're having all these stories of things in the sky, this never used to be a thing. Remember that thing? What they say in Alaska, a UFO? They said it was unidentified.
Yeah, they won't say what it is, and it makes you wonder, like, why is that the case? Why is the first one okay? This is what it is, but then everything else is just an object. But the other interesting thing was, well, I was just thinking, like, if this becomes like the norm, you know, normally something like this happening, like an invasion on another country by a rival country, that would be considered an act of war. So, it makes you kind of wonder: is this teetering on that, or are they just going to consider this kind of just like, oh, whatever? I don't know. I
Yeah, dude,
guess
you
we'll
got to figure
see.
this, bro. Bro, you got to figure this. In the entire World War II, we had no invasion by Japan, Italy, or Germany. Now they had U-boats around America, but you didn't have you, and they had, of course, spies here. But you had that's all counter espionage. You had no uniform shit, no blimp, no plane, no Japanese plane, no German plane fly over New York City, and even for reconnaissance, it didn't happen. Why? Well, we had people on the borders, and even the longshoremen. They had what's it called? Not just the Navy and the Coast Guard, but who are those people? The armed
Like the
ships.
merchant marines or
Yeah,
merchant
you know,
marines?
I mean,
Yeah.
like, dude, like, it was not a 1939 to 1945 was not a good time to just think you're gonna fly a hot air balloon over New York City. Like, you get your ass shot down. You know what I'm saying, though? Like,
Yeah, but it's definitely ballsy for the, if it is in fact, I guess, they're still
but
investigating
here's
it,
the
but if
thing.
it is
That's
in
even
fact,
if it is Chinese. We could be doing it to ourselves and blaming on the Chinese. So that way,
that's the
it's
thing.
kind of
You
like
got to
this.
keep that
You're with
option.
the girlfriend and she punches herself and calls the police. You're like, I didn't do that shit. You're like, yes, you did. And then there's your hot air balloon. You know what I'm saying, though? Right? It's kind of like,
Yeah,
dude. I mean, you can't say it's not possible. Well, the
yeah.
CIA, you can't think we've never set up things to make it look a certain way so we could do our result to get what we wanted to have happen. Does that make any sense?
Well, the crazy thing is, it's not just us. It's like other countries around the world. There, it's the same thing. So I think if it is what I guess the media is claiming that it is, if that is in fact the truth, which it very well could be, I think eventually, with all the other countries that are involved, they'll piece the puzzle together. But if it is what it is, if it is China doing this, it's a major concern because it's going to become a global problem. Anyone that they want to spy on, they're going to be shooting up these balloons, and who
Well,
knows
let's
how
just
many
say
they
that
have.
it really is what it is. Any other time, that'd be an act of war because this is sovereign
Yeah.
territory. But at the same
Oh yeah.
time, we are so weak right now. Our border on the southern border is so open. You know what I'm saying? No, it's like a $5 whore. Anybody can walk in. You don't need a balloon. Just take a trip to Cancun and head north. We'll give you free housing. There you
Yeah.
go.
Well, the thing is, like, I don't want to get too much into the weeds on politics, but if it is what it is, I would be expecting that and it continues and it becomes a trend. I would expect that there would be some major sanctions. But then you kind of wonder, like, we're so dependent on other countries nowadays. Like,
Any sanction would ruin the economy because
yeah,
Walmart, all of our
that's my
supplies,
point.
all of our furniture. Really think about it. All of our
Yeah,
plastics, they come from China. But here's the good thing:
yeah,
make it here in America.
yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Make it here in America.
Maybe this will be the turning point where that happens. Maybe.
Right. And then Trump comes in 24 and says, yeah, I'm going to bring the American factories back. And you get maybe it's just a
Yeah.
plan. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? No, maybe it's a plan. What do you think?
I don't know, man. All I know is that it's not a good thing. That's what's happening right now, and another one just got shot down today. So this is what the
So, Big
third
Firm, you're bringing,
one.
so Big Firm, you're doing cigar and balloon news from now on.
Yeah, I know. I
You're
was
like,
thinking
I'm
about that
trying this
earlier.
new Romeo, and holy shit, a balloon. You know,
I'm doing two updates now, man. My job just got harder, and
yeah.
I'm not getting paid for this.
Yeah.
So
He said I get paid for this. Big Firm's gonna be like the guy on the Weather Channel. He quits. He's like, well, I don't know why I'm standing out here in the fucking cold. So how's the cold out there? Is it snowing? You can see it snowing, Sarah. Back to you. You know,
if one hits me while I'm on the live session, we're in trouble. I get hit by a balloon or
bro. If
something.
you get abducted right now, And they're like, "What are you doing?" You're like, "What? Where's he getting all these cigars?" Well, I got this one, and then, oh, did you see this one? The alien's like, "What else you got? Did you see this one?"
I'll say this up front: if anything happens to me, if a balloon lands on me, I will donate all of my cigars to the lounge. So
All right, you got it, man. You got it. So
they
I
must
would
be
say,
shared equally.
I'm enjoying this cigar. I think it is a pretty good cigar. I wouldn't put it on my list, but just the viewing the cigar, it is tasty. It is pretty strong, but not scary strong. It's not super dark. It feels more like almost like, not saying like Habano, but that kind of darkness, like 65%. You know what I'm saying though?
Yeah,
There is some earth to it. More black pepper, which is nice. Just a tad bit of sweetness, but it's really not a sweet cigar. Um, it has some nuttiness to it, and a lot of vague spices, which you can't place. So overall, the feeling of the cigar, the finish is getting a little strong. It's not super. It's not a. It's not a full power cigar, if that makes any sense. But it's not a weak cigar, and it's not even a middle of the road middle of the road like a medium strength. So it fills
yeah,
that void. You normally don't get a blend like this because normally stuff that's that comfortable three quarter strength, three-quarter heaviness. They generally use a Connecticut broadleaf or Mexican San Andreas. Generally Connecticut broadleaf, and then you get a lot of chocolate and black pepper and some earth in that three-quarter power range. So to get a three-quarter power range cigar that's not super dark or even three-quarters dark, I think it feels like an interesting void. You know what I'm saying though? I think
yeah,
it feels kind of like if you like a Padron Natural, that kind of situation. Do you ever have a Padron Natural like a 64? You know what I'm saying though? Like if you like that kind of non-Maduro semi-strong cigar, it has a place. It's not the norm,
yeah,
I think, or for me, I guess, but I think it's a good starting point, and I would look forward to that brand. Um,
yeah.
what else? Do they have other cigars yet or no?
Yeah, so they have one other cigar, the Synthesis, which I had talked about before. Um, that's the only other one I know of that they put out. Tim Ozgener. So I think the Bosporus is like his that's his coming out cigar, and I think that it's getting good uh, good positive reception from the
I think it's a
cigar
very likable
aficionado.
cigar. I think it's a
Yeah,
solid start. I think it has good character. Um, um, I think I have nothing bad to say about it.
well, you know,
It doesn't wow me like crazy, but it's
yeah,
not boring at all. And I think it's a good start. You know what I'm saying? No, I think to me it's not their if they're gonna make another cigar, it's not their best. I talk about when a company didn't make their best cigar yet. Like I look forward to see what else they do. You know what I'm saying? Kind of
yeah,
like
yeah, for
Aganorsa when I
sure.
first had it. I think it was okay, and then like I'm trying to think what my favorite Aganorsa was, but or even like Placenti when they first came out, and then they made their Almaforte, and that was their best cigar. So I'd be interested to
Yeah,
see in the future. I think this is a
yeah.
solid brand. You know,
And do you have the wrapper with you right now? The wrapper for that cigar? I was gonna ask you if it doesn't say Crown Heads on the back of it. Okay, does it say Crown Heads?
it says it on the cellophane.
It said okay, so that one was the one I picked up when Tim Oscar was at the Cigar International, and that one is the exclusive one.
Yeah.
So he did the one he did that I think most people will be able to buy. I don't think will have the Crown Heads label on it. So I think from what I was told, he did a partnership, like an exclusive partnership with EP Carrillo and the owner of Crown Heads. So I just blanked on his name.
Oh, I know him. I met him before. I talked to him on the phone. He was a good guy. I
Shoot,
actually talked. I actually talked to him on the phone.
John Hubris, John
Yeah,
Huber.
John Huber. So he's down in
Huber.
is where is he? St. Louis or where is he?
I think he's in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, the music, country headquarter music.
Yeah, and
I talked to him
I
on the
just
phone for like a
yeah.
half hour. He was a solid guy because
Oh,
I had a
that's
bad
awesome.
cigar, and I emailed him. At first, he was like being a dick. He's like, "So what are you trying to say? You trying to get a free cigar?" I was like, "Bro, I'm not asking you for shit. I'm telling you, I review cigars. I spent my own money on this cigar, and literally, I got nothing out of it. It was just like a dead
Oh,
cigar. And so I don't know if it's the store or whatever, but I'm just letting you know. And it's like, I think you should replace the one cigar. I'm not asking for cigars, but one
right.
cigar. I said, yeah, it's a terrible experience. And I said, I let people, because people want to know, do you stand behind your product? and said, I'm not like a bitch. Just like I'm gonna try to. You think I'm emailing you to get one free cigar? I could buy my own cigar. And but he sent me like I think it was like a 5 pack of the same cigar and like a hat and everything. So I
Oh,
literally said I just want one replacement so I can review it again. You know what I'm saying though?
right.
And,
Yeah.
because I'm honest, if a cigar, because I felt the cigar had some potential, but if I got nothing out of it, if I got a bad one because of quality control, I'm doing you a favor, letting you know. Or
Yeah.
you could just leave
Yeah.
the review up and saying, you know what,
Right.
you didn't give a shit, you're a
Right.
scumbag, you didn't back your product up, and that's it. And, but no,
Yeah.
but then he once he realized why I was doing that, he called me and he's like, okay, he's like, yeah, and then we talked a lot about stuff, and we talked about the Monte
Oh.
Cristo one he made, and
Okay. Yeah.
that was his best. Did you like that Monte Cristo?
Yeah.
Uh,
So there was like this. It was like the Ciudad de Musica or something like that.
but that was like
So
6 years ago, and that might have aged out or got
I
quiet.
think it did. Yeah, I think it did. But I could detect like that. So with that one, I picked up two. Well, one I picked up a while ago when I saw it at one
I
shop,
want
and
you to
I
have
was
that first thing because you smoke a lot of cigars, and that's so. If it's aging out, if you have that as your third or fourth cigar, maybe you'll miss out on it. You know what I'm saying? No.
yeah, no, I think the issue wasn't the cigar itself. I think it had just been sitting there for a while because I was able to detect like what I like in crown heads. There's like a specific flavor note that I really enjoy when I smoke crown heads, and I got it in that, but it was more recessed. So I could just tell. I've spoken cigars long enough. I could tell it wasn't the cigar. It just was that it had been sitting there for a long time.
Yeah,
I know that I would have liked that cigar, but I also would have thought it would have been. Knowing what I the flavors that I detected, even though they were more recessed and not as pronounced, I would say it's more of a crown head cigar than a Monte Cristo cigar for me. And that actually is a good, not a bad thing. I mean, I do like both companies,
well, they
but I
chose the
especially,
they wanted to choose, but he told me they used the tobacco from Monte Cristo, but he picked.
oh,
They gave him carte blanche to pick whatever he wanted, and at the
oh,
time that came out, let's say 5 6 years ago, that was a $16 cigar. That was not cheap, and so
yeah,
like, and then and the dollar was stronger back then. So back then, like, it was as much as a Padron. Like, so that was
wow,
so
that's
think about it.
surprising.
Imagine like 2018 and like $16 for a cigar was a
Yeah,
lot of money.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that's pretty. That's good to know. It's also interesting that it was mostly Monte Cristo tobacco because I would not have guessed that. I would have guessed it
Well,
was
you got to say tobacco, it's the blend. So if he went to Maltese
oh, I see. Yeah.
and they had all the tobacco like in this warehouse, and he picked out a blend that he wanted. But
Mm, okay, that makes
he said he
sense.
picked like carte blanche, like the most expensive shit, and that's why the price was so high.
Okay, okay, that
But
makes sense
but
now.
but if you gave any cigar 6 years, you're never gonna get in my opinion. Especially here's the thing: 6 years. If you're talking about 6 years at Sacco's house in perfect quality control, but 6 years
Right,
at a
right.
lounge that's
Yeah,
just sitting there, it's not the
yeah.
same. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
yeah, for sure. And in the lounge that I got it from, their humidor, it's okay, but it's kind of an older lounge,
No, but that's not a
and
good place to age a cigar for 6 years.
no, no, for sure. I would recommend that though. If you can get like a, well, I don't know if they're all old, they're not in
No,
production
at this point,
anymore.
it's too late. Unless a
Yeah,
private collector like Sacco had it for 5 years and in perfect condition, there in a lounge, and most lounges for 6 years, too much temperature, flux, and too much moisture, and you know what I'm saying though, and
yeah. Well, you know what? I would say that if someone wanted to try it and they missed their opportunity like I did, I would say that the Mil Diaz limited edition, it was reminding me a lot of that. But the Mil Diaz limited edition,
you see,
you
I
know, just
really
came.
wanted to love the Mil Diaz. I wasn't
But the
crazy.
limited edition, not the regular line. There's a difference because you could get like for example, I had the La Creme um, regular line, and then I had the La Creme limited edition. It was like two different cigars. I actually prefer the non-limited edition
And I
La
wonder if
Creme.
it's a quality control issue with the Mil Diaz I had, or sometimes too. Do you remember a cigar when it first comes out, and you're like, and then maybe only like 6 months or a year goes by, and maybe the cigars really just need a little more time in the aging room process, and
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yep,
Uh,
I know exactly. In the Mil Diaz, I had that experience, so I know
but now with
exactly what
brands
you're
like
talking about.
Fuente or Padron or Davidoff, they're aging that shit 2, 3, sometimes 4, 5 years before they sell it. So those things are ready to fucking go. Like I
Yeah,
don't recommend buying a Padron 26 and going, you know what? It needs 3 years. it's ready.
No.
You know what I'm saying? No.
Yeah.
So, but with other brands, sometimes I think, especially when I'm talking about when a new cigar comes out, they're
Yeah.
generally rushing to production, and maybe they need a couple of months to kind of just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I know exactly what you're saying, but I had the opposite experience with Mil Diaz, where I shouldn't say the opposite experience, but I'll say the first time I had the Mil Diaz, I was really really impressed, and then I had it another time, and it was like it wasn't as good, and then I had a few more, but they weren't as good as the first time, but it
but
wasn't when it
that the
first came
second
out.
time, did you buy it from a lounge and smoke it the same day?
I if I didn't smoke it that day, I would have smoked it not that long thereafter.
And that's
So
the
I don't
factor.
think it.
You don't know in a lounge the conditions really could have. If you have a place that it's
Sure.
too warm, or because generally it's not going to be that cold. So if it's too warm or too moist, the combination that can get
Yeah.
us a really, you
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about.
Well, I had the problem with the Cortado with that situation where it wasn't kept in good condition, and then I had it again, but I knew it. Like a lot of times, I know I can just tell, just looking, if it won like the Monte Cristo, the that I just had, I could just tell just the look of it. Well, one, I knew that it wasn't in production, and then it was an older cigar, and then and they had it for like a really low price, so I think they were just trying to get rid of them.
I have kind of a
Um,
term for that. It's kind of like it's you know that song "I'm Half the Man I Used to Be." It's kind of like a cigar is a shadow of what it used to be. When you sometimes when a cigar gets too much time, and it's not like it's set 3, 4, 5 years. It could be variable to the blend, and that blend wasn't, I think, an ass kicker to begin with. That Monte Cristo Crown Heads.
mhm.
I think 5 or 6 years. I think it passed its peak. You know what I'm saying? No,
Yeah. Yes.
it's like
Yep.
a 35-year-old fighter versus like a 23. Yeah, he might have more experience, but still, like if it goes the distance, he's not going to have the same stamina as some 24-year-old kid.
Yeah.
You know, you get what I'm saying? No, it's
No, 100%. So I'm
yeah.
total agreement. Yeah, and but I'm glad I tried it, and I'll see the other one I have, which I got from a different place. If it tastes any different, it probably won't. But hey, I still enjoyed it, so that's all that matters at the end of the day. Like
Well, make
I
sure you hold
appreciated.
the smoke a lot. If it lost a lot of its balls because of
Yeah,
time, hold the smoke a lot to try to see the real intent. You know what I'm saying? Though, like it's a
yeah,
big difference between smoking and really holding the smoke and paying attention. And I would have it as the first cigar. You cannot
yeah.
really
Good point.
do a cigar for yourself as a second or third cigar of the day. You can't. You
Yeah,
could still go, wow, this is great. But for a new cigar, I think it has to be fresh on the palate. But I know you're saying like first thing in the morning. Well, what I'm trying to say is you have a couple cigars a day. So, but and also in the morning, you say lots of times when you smoke in the morning, you don't have a good experience, or what is it?
yeah. I think it's more like it depends on
You're
the
not awake
cigar.
yet. You're not yet.
No, it depends on the cigar because like there's some cigars I'll smoke in the morning. Like if it's a lighter shade cigar, I can have it for the first time and I never had it. What the problem I had, it was only really two cigars that I had different experiences with smoking in the morning versus the night. I don't typically have that problem, but it was the Opus X, the first Opus X I ever had, and then the Padron 1926. So knowing like most of the cigars you like, I like as well. So I knew something wasn't right when it didn't hit me right. So it was just those two cigars for whatever reason, and maybe because they're they're not light cigars, um, and so I think for me after dinner with those types of cigars, uh, and I probably would have the same experience with a stronger cigar too. Like if it's a stronger, like a Maduro cigar, if I smoke it in the day versus the night, I'm gonna have a better experience at nighttime than I will during the day. It's just maybe there's a lot of variables involved.
Psychological is a huge factor.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
that's too.
at nighttime, the day's done, and so there's nothing else going on and on my mind. So I'm like, this is it, and then I'm going to bed. During the day, you're like, oh, I gotta pay the bills, I gotta go to the post office, or I don't know, do I gotta do my laundry or whatever. In this case, is your day off, or do you have to go to
Yeah,
work, or is it before? You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of factors.
yeah.
It's
There are a
something
lot of
about,
factors. Yeah, and your
it's
palate
something
too.
about
Sometimes your palate isn't ready for something like that in the early in the morning. And I think a lot of people can relate because I mean, most people I don't think I'm an exception once in a while, but
no, but
most
majority
people
of people
don't.
smoke cigar after work or
And
after.
especially yeah, after dinner, and then especially stronger cigars. Like a lot of people aren't smoking strong cigars or like first thing in the morning, like after
And you want to know
breakfast.
why? I think when you smoke a cigar, I think it prepares you to go to sleep, to go to the spiritual world. If you go back, let's say with the Native Americans, right? Like, dude, smoking tobacco was a spiritual experience, and I think a lot of people negate that fact, or they forget that
Night
that it
Jeremy.
is, and I think it is. I think there's something about brothers sitting around and smoking tobacco. Literally, it was a religious experience for them. I think people deny that fact of what tobacco does. Because, for example, marijuana clearly does something to people's minds. Alcohol does something to people's minds. Um, how could you say tobacco doesn't? Now, clearly, tobacco doesn't impair you for driving. So, like
Yeah,
let's say marijuana or drugs does or drinking, but it has to reduce. And to me, I don't
yeah,
think
sure,
it's
for sure.
a bad thing. Of course, like anything else, you could overdo it. Like I don't recommend smoking 10 cigars a day. You're trying to kill
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah. Don't do a Steve Saka.
Yeah, wait, yeah, but Steve Saka's like
Never
500.
go full. Never go full Steve Saka.
Well, I guess when you're rich and you could be that big, uh,
Yeah,
you have a good heart doctor, and you're like, yeah, give me a new heart. You know what I'm saying?
but yeah, I think it relates also to like food. I mean, some people like some food you like Indian food. Like I don't think I could eat that first thing in the morning. Dinner time, no problem, or something like that. You know, like
Yeah,
so.
and for me, Indian food's got to be a special occasion.
Yeah,
I do it like once a year. It's got to be at a good place. I don't want like cheap Indian food. I don't. Hey, Jeremy, good night, brother. You take it easy, bro.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I picked up the Heritage today, which I haven't smoked. Um,
Jeremy's just smoked that. He said the
yeah,
Heritage is along the same lines as the 1935. The Heritage is darker, but the 1935 is stronger in spice. So to me, they complement each other. It depends on what you want. The Heritage,
yeah.
did you already have the 1935?
Oh yeah, I've had the 1935 a
Okay,
number of times, and
that's
I
a
really
strong
like
dark
that.
cigar, right? That's a strong dark cigar.
Yeah,
When you
yeah. I was actually
notice that the 1935 is the more expensive cigar, it feels like it has more complexity. It feels like to
yeah,
me, it just feels like the better cigar because it should be because it costs more money. But the Heritage is like a notch below that. It's still a great cigar, more affordable and bigger, but that's a darker blend, bro. That blend is, in my opinion, that cigar is the darkest Altadas
yeah,
blend to date. To date,
yeah.
that's a.
No, this is the Corona size, so I know this is like perfect for me because
I've
it's the
never
money.
seen the Corona,
Yeah,
so that's gonna be really strong.
yeah. It's a Corona, and it's AJ Fernandez, and it's H Upman. And it's got all the all the factors that I like. So I don't see how I should probably just smoke it now because I just
Yeah,
so
that's a
I
dark.
smoked the Hemingway. I wanted to talk about that because I smoked I've been smoking the Hemingway. Like the short story is probably one of like when I first got into smoking, that was one of the cigars I remember smoking consistently, and I've smoked them for like 20 years, to over 20 years now. So, I'm very like, there's certain cigars that you've had so many times. It's
But
like
always the short story. You never got into the signatures
I
of the.
I I think I gravitated to the short story because I liked it. It was cheap. It was like I want to say like $4 back in the day, and it was meant to just be like a cheap quick smoke, and I loved the short story, so I always that was one of the cigars I always picked up.
I think the Hemingway series is a high end mid tier blend. I think it's a great blend.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I didn't. I have I smoked the signature. I smoked the bestseller, but not a lot. It was always the short story that I've had like you know
Well, the
numerous
short stories
times.
production. They don't make as many work of arts as signatures. They're actually pretty hard to find.
So here's the thing. I picked one up today, and I'm like, wait, did I ever have this one before? And I couldn't remember ever having the work of art. So I start smoking it. I'm expecting it to be like what I'm used to, what I've been used to for decades, and it tasted completely different. Like it was like I was smoking. I would almost compare it to I mean, maybe people disagree with me, but this is just my palate. It was reminding me of the rare pink, and I've only smoked the rare pink once, so maybe that's not a fair
Well, the
assessment.
rare,
But
I believe the rare pink is still under the Hemingway line. If you look at the shapes and the boxes, it
yeah,
kind of is, but it's just it has a
right.
Nicaraguan some Nicaraguan in it.
But the classic Cameroon taste that I'm very familiar with the other Hemingways, I didn't get that with the work of art. It was more of like it was I wasn't even getting any like sweet notes or anything like that. It was more like I said on par with. I would even say it was reminding me a little bit of the Between the Lines a little bit. So it was very interesting, and it just took it took me by surprise. I didn't expect it, especially with a cigar I thought I was familiar with. So that size, it was almost like it was a completely different blend, a different Fuente, which was really cool as well. So um, I think I would have paid more for that. Like I picked it up for maybe I don't think it was more than maybe like $11, maybe 12. It might have been 10.
I
So
think the bigger gauge, and of course it changes the blend, but also the wrapper ratio is also different. So I think when you have a smaller, skinnier version with the Cameroon, because Cameroon's not really a strong wrapper, so when you go with a fatter version of that, the filler more stands out, but also it
that
would
could be
also be
it.
less intense. So in a way, I think the smaller, even the signature, I prefer over the work of art in the Cameroon because it's a skinnier version. It's longer though, but now you can still get more of the Cameroon flavor or strength because it's skinnier. But you get what I'm trying to say though. So I think. But have you had the work of art in Maduro?
Yes, I had. Oh, no, no, no. I'm sorry. I had the short story in Maduro, and I need to try the bestseller and the work art. I have at home the bestseller in Maduro. I need to smoke that. And I think
Which
I picked up a signature in Maduro too.
dude,
Yeah.
I love the Hemingway Maduros. I could smoke the Hemingway Maduros any for the rest of my life. I'm
Wow,
always
that
happy.
says a lot. Yeah, that says a lot. Yeah.
It's a very reusable blend. It's a very comfortable Maduro. It has just enough power. It's it's good for any time. Um, it's wow, bro. This thing got really spicy at the end. Like
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it picked up for me too, and I did get. I know when you first lit up, you were like, I'm getting notes. I don't really know what they are." I had that same experience. It was like some notes that I just couldn't. I hadn't experienced before,
I call,
so it had me
I
thinking.
call those vague spices. Don't try to explain it. You can't place it, and that's where it belongs.
No, yeah, right, exactly.
It's
Yep,
a belong.
100%
So
agree.
that can
Yep.
still feel a little uncomfortable, but at the same
Hmm.
time, it just for me it just becomes like an experience. Like it's part of it. Um,
Yeah.
I,
I
I
think that's why it got good reviews. Is I think it's because it was a little bit different, and I think that's good for a company that's just starting out too. I mean, he's not. I mean, he's not new to the game. I mean, he's a CAO fam. You know, he must have had a big part in CAO because after I don't remember the owner's name, but after he passed away, I imagine he had a big part in CAO. So I mean, he's been in the industry for a long time.
like
I've seen interviews with him a while ago, but
binder. When you use a double binder, you could really kind of tweak a blend something because there's a reason why you're using a double binder than a wrapper. And I'll tell you this: that's going to cost more money to add a double binder wrapper. You know what I'm saying? Not only more time in construction, but just you know, you know what I'm saying though. It's
yeah, I know what you're saying. But you know what I would recommend though is if that one is a exclusive one, if that's like the Crown Head EP Carrillo version of the Bosphorus, then I would try the other version, the
so
non.
there's a Bosphorus that's a different blend with the same name by a
Yeah,
different.
sorry, I didn't finish what I was explaining. Yeah, so that's what was explained to me by the not by Tim, but by the guy that was. Oh wait, maybe Tim did mention that because he did tell me he did mention he had partnered with them. That he was in Memphis. So, but I remember the clerk at CI was tell. I talked to him actually yesterday, or was it today? I forget. Anyway, I think he's the one that told me that that's not their normal blend. That the other Bosphorus aren't. You won't see the Crown Heads label on the back. So I'll verify that. I should have looked today. Actually, wait. Oh no, I have a Bosphorus, but it is this is another Crown Heads one. I don't know. Maybe they're all like this. I need to confirm that.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
All I'll say is it was enjoyable. It was. I'm not gonna say it was exotic, but it was pretty unique. It was interesting. I enjoyed it, and Geo's having a little private war with dot dot dot, and
Oh shit.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
He's making a big boy decision. He felt it was necessary. Uh, Geo's starting a war, and
I tried a cigar today that I thought was pretty good. So remember, last time I was on, I mentioned the Epic, and I had it today. I had it. It was a Lancero size one that I
who made
had.
the Epic?
So it's some guy that was. I read up on him. He was like some guy that was somewhere in the Caribbean. He was like in real estate, and he had a background in law enforcement. I think in like Canada or something. And he's the guy that started the company. And it's been around apparently for like, I want to say like 6 7 years. So it's not like brand new company. So it's obviously a boutique brand. But
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, it was impressive. I had the it was a Habano wrapper, and they have a pretty cool logo. And I've only seen their cigars in like a couple shops, so maybe they're not widely
not a
distributed.
big. I had it before one time, and but it's not like a massively known, I guess.
No, it's not. But I'll tell you what, that Lancero I had was impressive. Like I would definitely go back to it and try it again. But it was again the Lancero Habano Epic. That one I think is definitely worth. It wasn't even that expensive. I think it was like 10 12 bucks. And then the other cigar I had last night that I really enjoyed was the EP Carrillo, the TAA. That one was a winner, man. That was an
When
amazing
we
cigar.
talk about the TAA doesn't always mean it's going to be better. It could be the
Mm-mm.
same, better, or worse. Because like there's a TA version of like the Gurkha, and it's the same cigar, but just a different shape. Lots of times TA is a different size, and it's something they present, for that year.
Yeah,
You know,
no,
I remember back in the day, I was given a gift by the mayor, a TAA Padron 64, 26 Maduro,
I've
but
never seen a TA Patron. Yeah,
it was,
that's
it was
cool.
years ago, and I think it was a 6x60. It was fucking massive,
Oh wow,
it,
yeah,
dude. But it was awesome.
that's
You know,
kind of like lunatic size.
yeah, no, but for a Padron 20, I smoked like on a Christmas Eve, and it just gave you so much time. And the bigger size kind of tuned it down a little bit, but it became very relaxing. It became more of like a sweeter, beautiful cigar than, not that 26 is a powerhouse, but 26 is a pretty strong cigar. And,
Yeah.
it's,
Oh
but so
yeah.
the by 60 just gave you more time. And it was interesting. Um, it was a while ago, so it's not well known because the TAL release is going to be very limited, and
Yeah. Right.
not
Right.
has them to be a TAA shop. That's a difficult thing to do. You know what I'm saying? No, not every shop.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I haven't seen it. Actually, the only place I've seen the TAAs, so I saw Corona Cigar Company had a lot of different TAAs. I got that EP Creo one. I got the Tatuaje, which exactly what you're saying. That one was not a winner for in my book. Um, and I picked up another TAA. I can't remember what it was, but then today I went to another shop and they had a TAA Illusione Prive, and I really liked the Prive, so I picked that up. That's I started smoking. It has the same Prive band as the one I sent you. Um, and it tasted exactly like the Prive. So I don't know why they did a TAA that was part of their regular line. It didn't taste like the blend was any different. So I don't know. Maybe in that case it was just the Prive that they were just submitted, but they did have another Illusione TAA that was not the Prive, and I've seen that at Corona, and I was gonna pick that up, but it was a little pricey. It was like I want to say $16 $17. So
What's interesting about TAA, it's not a brand. TAA,
mhm.
it's from Padron, the Rocky Patel, the Gurkha. So it's like there's no like standard of what does TAA mean. I don't know, and nobody fucking knows, and that'll be a lie. So all TAA means is like every year you could just look up TAA, and every year they'll have a list of what TAA cigars were available.
Yeah,
But collector standpoint, some people might find that, but to me, it's kind of irrelevant. It's kind of a cool thing, but it's also it doesn't matter if that makes any sense. Um,
yeah.
um, I've never seen a TAA Fuente. I don't think he's part of it. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, yeah,
So, it is what it is.
yeah,
Um, Now here's the thing. This is the pure ambar, but this is the original one, dude. It's such a great cigar. Now I'm gonna do a review on the second version, which we'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying though. Uh,
yeah.
I've been smelling the foot of that cigar, and it does smell nice, but it is a different blend. Because remember, this cigar, the original pure ambar, and this is the one in Corona, it sold out so fast. It was so well known
Mm.
uh, that they ran out. They couldn't get
Oh,
to be a Dominican puro. It's not like you're gonna get tons of Dominican wrapper. That's the problem. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. Oh,
And
just mentioned the PCA Tatuaje. He said it was a clear winner over the TAA, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. I had that one too recently, and that was much better than the TAA, the PCA Tatuaje. It was actually really strong. I sometimes smoke strong cigars during the day. I wasn't planning on smoking that one, and I was actually chatting with Gio, and he was like, "Yeah, try that one. I want to know what it's like." So I was like, "All right, I'll light it up." I lit it up, and man, it kicked my ass. I had to put it on hold because it was just major nicotine hit.
some tattooies, man, can be pretty stout.
Yeah, that one was definitely on the stronger side. So not a I don't recommend smoking that one in the morning. But it is a good cigar, and I had the T110, uh, the Tuxla, which I
Oh,
sent you one of
the one you
those. Yeah, I had one of those, but I don't want to comment on it because I don't want to
no,
bias you.
well, it's gonna be dark and strong, bro. I can tell by the smell. Look,
Yeah, just have something to eat before you smoke it. I don't think you're good. Honestly, I don't think you're going to be blown away by it, but it's a nice one
well,
to
here's the
just at
thing.
least
Once you
try.
go so dark with a cigar, and once you go so strong, and that's not a big cigar, like it's pretty short. That combination is it's like, not to say it's a setup for failure, but what I'm saying is it's a setup for, it is what it is. It's gonna be like, you
Yeah,
get it's gonna be like a boxing fight that's not gonna be long. It's gonna be
yeah,
strong and fast, and like, it's not gonna be 15 rounds. It's gonna be Mike Tyson, 45 seconds. Like, so that kind of, when you get real dark and real strong, it's almost like a one hit wonder. Meaning, like, you're not gonna get exotic. You're not gonna get a beautiful blend. You're not even gonna get You get what I'm saying though? When you go full strength and full darkness, it is what it is. At that point, 6 of 1, you could give me 10 different cigars that are full strength. I mean, full strength and full darkness. They're almost all the same, because at a certain point, you get so strong, you can't taste anything. It just becomes.
yes. Well, here's the good thing about the T110. I'll just say this is that even though it was strong, I was able to detect a lot of flavor. I won't say what flavors I was detecting, but it wasn't just like a powerhouse with no flavor. I was getting the spice on the retro, but I was also detecting some flavors. Um,
No, but
so that
okay.
was kind of interesting.
Rephrase that. Generally, when you
Yeah,
go to,
generally though.
the
Yeah,
only note you're getting is deep dark earth, and like the
yeah.
darkest coffee espresso note you could have,
Hmm.
and maybe the darkest spice you ever had. But when you combine it together, it just all tastes like darkness. Like, I don't.
Yeah,
So darkest earth and the darkest coffee note, it almost just becomes like one in the same. You know what I'm saying? It's like, becomes like an unholy trinity, like complete dark earth, complete dark black pepper, and complete uh,
yeah. It's the characters of Lajero. That's what it is. But I guess when they
and I'm
blend
saying
the
it's,
Lajero with other things, you can change it.
you understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm saying it's a completely unbalanced concept,
Mm.
which is fine within the cigar world, because I think those cigars have their place as well, though. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
It,
Well,
it,
this
it
one
has
is like I'm getting that with this, with the heritage. This is I already could predict that I was gonna like it, and I do like it. So it is
it's pretty.
it's yeah,
Okay, I
it's
don't.
dark, and it's like what I look for in a dark cigar. And I like A. Chapman, I like AJ Fernandez, so it's a perfect combination. So
It's a pretty stout cigar, right?
yeah, it is. But it has good flavor. But yeah, I'm getting a
No, no,
lot
it's
of the
a
spice
good
on the
quality cigar.
retro.
Shit, I would smoke it again. It, you know,
Yeah,
you know, you know.
I like the Corona size. That's like one of my favorite sizes. So this is like what I would consider like a perfect evening cigar that I would enjoy, and would potentially even consider buying potentially a box of, even though I
Interesting.
don't buy boxes.
Now
Yeah.
that cigar you sent me from Mical Micallef, it was the Rieta. What is? I didn't look into the details. What is that
So that
cigar?
was the one I went to a cigar shop that was the one that where they had the Micallef event, and Al Micallef was there, the owner of the company. And but I was talking to the rep, and I told him about the channel. I told him, you know, you're a fan of Micallef, and I said, well, what would be a good one? You know, he's had Micallef before he had the Leanda and maybe some other ones. I said,
Yeah,
what one would you recommend
I,
for him? And
I
he
had the,
handpicked that out. I didn't pick that cigar out. So that was from the Micallef cigar rep who was there. Picked that one out for you.
well, I'll be interested to try that one because once again,
Yeah.
Michelob is not a brand I recommend as a whole, but within Michelob, there was ones I've enjoyed. If that makes any sense. So like, because what I mean is there's ones I've tried that I didn't like. There was a cheaper cigar they made that was like $6-7, and dude, I hated it. I hated
Okay.
it. They didn't make a good cheap cigar, and that to me, maybe it's harder to make a good cheap cigar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Though, you
Yeah.
know,
Sure.
and it was just like garbage. Then they had some good like higher end mid tier stuff that Bearded Dad sent me, and I can't remember the name of it. It was a Migdala. Did you see that one or no?
That one doesn't ring a bell, and I'm not that familiar with Micallef. I have one here. Which is this one? This is the Matafina. I don't
What?
know if you had this one.
No, no.
I picked up a bunch of different ones because I don't have the experience you have with Micallef. I didn't even know about Micallef until you mentioned it on your list, and so I'm just starting to explore that Micallef cigar.
it had some buzz a few years ago, and I want to say the buzz kind of fell off only because I'm not
Oh,
saying
okay.
shops don't have them, but what I'm trying to say is in people's minds, you can make a good cigar, but if nobody cares and nobody talks about it, it's almost like does it exist? And I'm not saying it's the way it should be, but I'm also saying that's also reality. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no, that and also I think a lot of shops, if it's not a brand that a lot of people are buying, it's going to end up being in a section where it's going to be
They're not
all
gonna
like
carry no more. They'll do it for a year, and then they'll tell the
yeah,
people take these cigars back to tell the rep we can't sell them. You know what I'm saying? Though it doesn't mean it's a bad cigar, but it becomes a
yeah.
thing of to make a cigar popular. Unless if you're one of the juggernauts like Rocky Patel or Fuente,
Yeah,
David, or Romeo, or anything Altatus, or anything general. How do because even within those brands, look, you see Camacho has a major cleansing. You look at
yeah,
Sancho Panza with General, they redid it to try to create
yeah,
more, and they did, and I think it's working.
yeah.
Um, I think I think a lot of people look at it and they're like, "What the hell is this? Who's Michelob?" But Michelob doesn't make the cigar. He contracts it with that company. There's the Sanchez family, right?
That I don't know. I don't know anything about Micallef.
Michelob's just a man. He's got money, but it's just like Ashton. He doesn't make a cigar. I believe it's the Sanchez family, that, and I think a lot
Okay.
of people don't know about it. Maybe as time goes on, um, I don't know. I think the banding on those cigars kind of throws the cigar off. Yeah, they're going.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. And again, I don't see it at a lot of shops. And the one shop that has them has like the whole line. Like they had a Michelef that was like I want to say like $25. It was like some expensive Michelef. But it was in a section that I go to the shop all the time, and I think the placement of where they put it, like I passed by that one area so many times and never even noticed it. So I think that's what I was saying earlier is that I think that also plays a role in like how popular a cigar is like the placement of in the shops. Well, one, how many shops are even carrying it, and two, like when they are carrying it, where they're putting it. Are they putting out in the open for people to see? Are they priced good so people will pick them up? And so that I think that was kind of surprising to me that I had been in that shop many times and passed by the whole area the area where they were kept, and I just never even noticed them. So yeah,
And that's
I'm
what
hoping that they'll be good.
the banding in the box is what guys are going to notice, and then the price is
Mhm.
part of it.
Mhm.
And you really only have one chance to impress somebody. The problem is
Yeah.
because when you start off with a brand and you have a variety of quality per se of different range, if a guy picks up, let's say, a cheaper one for $7, and he's like, "Oh, that's the brand," that sucks. But it's like, no, but if you would have tried the $18 Leander, you would have blown your mind out with it. But then they're like, but yeah, but I
Yeah.
don't know who the brand is, and I'm not willing to
Right.
take a chance on a luxury cigar with a new brand that has a wide range. So I felt
Yeah.
like if it came out as a luxury brand, okay, but um, it's in a way they're like a newer, smaller company, but at the same time they're a full brand. They have from cheap to expensive. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I obviously the guy that has the brand, he's got a lot of money, so it's not like he's hurting for it. You know what I'm saying though? So
Yeah. And I had a really good experience with talking to the owner Al Mikalev, and he was such a nice guy. Like that also like makes me want to try his cigars. So I picked up a bunch that day, and the one I sent you, like I said, is the one the cigar rep picked out. But I picked up a bunch on my own as well. So I probably have like I want to say like 6 or 7 different Mikalevs that I haven't even smoked yet.
but
So
the
I'm gonna
guys
start.
and that guys like let's say like PG, you're unique in the cigar community where you're willing to try a lot of different stuff because that's also part of the journey. Because it's exciting to try new different stuff because it also stimulates different parts of the mind, and you'll maybe some you love, some you don't, some or whatever. But
Sure.
but
Yeah.
but but most people they're going with the flow. And so, if
Yeah.
most people are, let's say, a mid-tier cigar smoker, and they say, "All right, I'm smoking $10 cigars or $12 cigars," these are the brands they stick with, or they stick with um, the go-to brands that are available. That's the Rockies, the Alec Bradley, the whatever. You know what I'm saying though, and Perdomos. The stuff that's always available, and they're not going to really. What I'm saying is they're not going to steer too far from that. You know,
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
so how does a new cigar
it's
company?
it's tough. I think what'll one is I think it's going to be the hype that it gets like online, and then obviously Half Wheel Cigar Aficionado, those kind of review
Yeah, but then also,
sites, and
a lot of guys get their shit off of YouTube. So I'm not
a
just
lot
saying,
of YouTube. Yeah,
but
and
just in
YouTube
general,
obviously like yeah,
when
it's like
guys
all
are,
the
you
yeah
know,
the big YouTube reviewers. A lot of them have left YouTube, so it's like it'll be interesting to see like in the coming years how that impacts the cigar industry. Like it's going to be tougher, I think, for those boutique brands that are coming out, like the Ozengers. Although, I mean, he might do okay, but I mean, like some other smaller boutique brands, it might be harder for them to get a real hold in the industry if people aren't buying their products. Even if it'd be a shame if they're really good, um, and the word's just not getting out that they're good. So I can't think of any like brand new boutique brands
well,
though.
think of it this way. In my opinion, is this: when it comes to cigars, for the most part, and hear me out, I think like the world's already made up their mind. You understand what I'm saying by they made up their mind? There's going to be some room for people that haven't made their mind. There's
Mm,
always those guys. But okay, for example, if you said, okay, a regular guy, but tonight he's celebrating or he's going to buy a box of something expensive. You think they're going to go for a box of Leander for the most part? No. If you want to buy
no,
a $300 cigars, you're going to go buy Patron. You're going to buy
yeah,
David
a
or Fuente.
Fuente, yeah.
Because why? There's a
It's
reason out.
reliable. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been there
For
for. Yeah,
example, it's
they know
like
what they're getting.
if you're going to buy a gun for legal carry, you're going to generally go with the shit people know. Why? Because there is some fact behind it. Because whether it's Glock, Beretta, HK Sig, or Smith and Wesson, or or Colt, there's a reason why they've been around, and and
Yeah,
everyone and there's enough information by enough people using it. They know what's good and what sucks. And even within
yeah,
those brands, they've had guns that failed, or okay, they discontinued it, or whatever reason. But my point is, it's kind of like you have that backing of society, and maybe some doesn't deserve it, but overall, there's a or for example, is you think most guys are going to carry some exotic, crazy gun that no one knows about, or you can't get parts for, or like it's a special edition, but then you get what I'm saying though. It's kind of same thing with cigars. I think for the most part, when people make an investment, because a box of cigars per se is not cheap, they're generally
yeah,
not going to take the risk of. Let me see, am I going to buy a box of Ozengers or to buy
yeah,
a box of Drone 64?
yeah. I think with Tim Oziger, I think the advantage he has is that he's been in the industry so long. He knows a lot of people. He knows how to get the word out, and then he probably has ties with the folks like the big
Oh, I'm
reviewers.
not going to sell or have his own little niche. But I can tell you, Oscar's never going to be Padron. You know what I'm saying, though?
No, no, he
What
doesn't.
what I think.
Padrona's too strong. They're like the Walmart, like Walmart, and I
But
don't
what
know. I'm just saying
if what
it's
was
hard
it?
to beat them. Yeah,
'70s. So I think same thing. Fuente's been doing shit for 100 years, if not more, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to say is like to become a world standard, especially amongst expensive cigars. Um, I think it takes a long time to build up that level of trust with society that you're not going to.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying though? Like, well,
Yeah.
if so, guys are buying Hemingways, Don Carlos, Anejos, or any Opus, or anything within that, is that level of trust that you're not going to get let down and not get fucked. Same thing with high end Padrones or high end Davidoffs. Well, Davidoffs are all high end, but you get what I'm trying to say though. So I'm
Yeah.
not saying that's the way it is, but that's the reality of what it is. Well,
Yeah.
look
That's
at look at cars. If you go back in time, it was either a Chrysler product, Dodge, or a Ford or a Chevy. Now
yeah.
of course we have more stuff now with imports, but I'm just saying like why did they have 20 American brands? Well, they did, but General's what do you call it? What's it? Oh my God, it's General, but what is it called? General Motors. They got rid of Pontiac, they got rid of Oldsmobile, they got rid of Saturn. I
Yeah.
think because I think you flood your own market, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, Uncle Larry was asking about West Tampa. That's another, I guess, has ties to CAO with Rick Rodriguez. I had talked about them before, so I've had the West Tampa. I guess they're a new company as well.
Bro, I seen them
Um,
down, which was surprising. I saw them at a shop. I didn't buy it,
yeah,
but it was surprising to see them at a shop. I don't know if they're good, but
yeah, I've had the West Tampa. Haven't had. I think they had like a. They have a Maduro one. They have I want to say, is it maybe Connecticut or maybe it's Habano? I'm
but
not sure, but
if I recall correctly, it was over $10, maybe under 15, but it wasn't like it was an $8, $7 cigar. So when you get to that 13, 14, $15, bro, for what I could get
yeah.
right now, once again, time is short in my life, and at 14, $15, bro, I could smoke work of art signatures for $12, and if it's not gonna make me happier than that, why would I spend more for less?
Yeah, well, I mean, down here, I would say on average, the price for like the regular West Tampa is like, I'd say like $10 around that price. So they're not over here. Um, uh, and then and then he has his like his high end. It's not even really a high end one, but the attic is his like it's probably worth trying. But I wasn't that impressed, and I think I had expected more from Rick Rodriguez because I mean he's like a well-known guy in the industry, and I was expecting something
Yeah, but
like
Rick
there would.
is what he could do with the billions of dollars general
Mm,
and they're
yeah,
different, right? It's different than once he branches out and now he's got to get his own. You know what I'm saying? Though it's and then he's charging. I don't know, man. Like
I wouldn't pay 15. I don't think I would pay $15 for the standard West Tampa personally.
and that's what they're
But
going for. They were like 13, 14
yeah, no,
bucks.
I
Kind of
would
like
say try it, but I don't want to because I've only had it a limited number of times, and I haven't had the other. I guess Uncle Larry was saying there's three blends. I think I've only had one, maybe two. I want to. I'm gonna try some more and see how it goes, and if it's the same experience, I'm gonna give up on West Tampa. But they are pretty popular down here. I do see them in a lot of shops.
no, you get that
Uh,
local following, and you could have your own niche, and I respect that. But like I said, going back to what I was saying, I really think when it comes to things, uh, there's revolutionary, evolutionary. Very once in a while, there's something revolutionary happen. So, but generally things evolve over a slow period of time, and I think the
mm,
world's already made up their mind. And
yeah,
so for example, with cigars, you got you got like my father. Now that was pretty revolutionary, let's say 10, 12 years ago, but now they made their stake. They're time tested, and
yeah,
they're part of it. Let's say they're not as big, let's say, as the major juggernauts, but they're a major brand. And
yeah,
I don't think my father's going anywhere. I think it's a very strong brand.
yeah. They are a strong brand, and
I
I
feel
picked up a.
LFD's been falling off in a sense that I don't see a lot of new stuff coming out that's regular production. Like, oh, we have this new cigar, the Solus, and I want to try it, but it's limited production. And okay, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
and you're never gonna find it. Okay, the Andalusian Bull, great cigar. Never gonna find it. If you do, you get to buy one.
Yeah.
The Lennox and the La Volcana, pretty good cigars. Very hard to find, and they come in, they sell out real quick because the regular LFD cigars are all
Yeah.
sitting. Every shop I go to, they got all the
Yeah.
barrels.
Yeah.
So that was shocking when it came out, let's say 15, 20 years ago, but now nobody really cares. And it's like, it's good
Yeah.
now with the price raises. Do I want to spend like $14 on a double of heroin? You're like, eh. And so it's
Yeah.
like, um, I don't see them coming out with anything new LFD on a regular where you could buy it. And but I guess they're still in business and they're doing well, I guess. But like, I don't know.
Yeah, I
How
think
do you
they have their like their brand loyal customers who, and I do like LFD. I still gotta smoke the Andalusia Bull, and the Solus. I haven't smoked that yet, and I have a Lennox. I have so many that I have, but I haven't smoked. But the Oro I think is getting the Oro looks really good, and but it's just
but wasn't the
expensive.
Oro been out for a while? I thought that was out for a while.
It might have been. I just never noticed it before, but
Is that the one
regardless,
in the
it's
gold tube?
no, it has a gold wrapper though. But it's like $20. So
No,
I
that's a
really
different.
would like to try that. But
That's a
I heard
different.
good things about the Solus though. The Solus, I have heard good things about it. I just haven't. I gotta smoke it. Maybe I'll smoke it tomorrow and see how it is,
Which
how
one
it
do you?
goes. The Solus. It's supposed to
Oh,
be like the yeah. I have that one.
you found it.
You Oh yeah, they have them down here. I even the Lennox, they're like in the the Lennox. I can get that in many different sizes. I can get the what's the one with the one you just mentioned,
Okay.
the Volcado.
That's a
That
good cigar, man.
yeah, I was gonna pick it up actually the other day, but it's not cheap. It's like maybe $15, 14 $15. But I will try it.
No, yeah, I'm not gonna say it's gonna blow your mind. So don't.
Mhm.
It is a good cigar. And what I'm saying is, I'd rather have a Volcano than like a Lajero, double Lajero. Um, and I've enjoyed the double Lajeros, and I do recommend them in a sense. But after I have them, it's a little
Yeah,
uneasy. You have the double Lajeros.
yes, the double hair. I had it when I remember when it first came out. At least I think it went when I was. I remember when it first came
That was
out
the cigar boom of
a
strong
long
cigar
time ago. It was
because
the
that was
strongest cigar on the market, if I remember correctly, because that was it got a lot of hype because it was a lot of the hero in it. But at the time when I first started smoking, man, it was Nicaragua wasn't even on the map. It was all Dominican Republic. I mean, maybe there was some Nicaraguan Padron, I guess, but it was like Nicaragua. It's just interesting how it just completely shifted. But
and
I
it
remember
also
the
in the luxury market. Like when I started, let's say 15, 16 years ago, hanging out and going to a cigar shop, let's say in the early 2000s, um, high end stuff was all Dominican. Like
yeah, it was all Dominican.
high,
Everything was Dominican.
um, high end Ashtons, okay, VSGs or their Heritage. Uh, they would have, let's say, eventually as the time went on, you a Patron 64 and 26, but it wasn't even. It was like it was there, but it didn't take over. At a certain
Hmm.
it shifted to then a lot more, like let's say with the Liga Number Nine and other higher end Nicaraguans coming out. That then it became Nicaraguan luxury cigars started really getting real popular. You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, yeah. I
I
remember
think
the Onyx. The Onyx was one of my go tos back in the day because it was like there weren't that many like dark cigars. I remember smoking a lot of the Onyx.
and I don't
But
really
now
remember that cigar, or if I had it, I don't remember if I liked it. But they
they're
made it
still around. Actually, I don't know how they stayed around for so long, but I still see them every now and
probably a
then.
lot of internet sales because they weren't that expensive. Guys buying boxes.
Yeah,
Here's the thing: what I'm
yeah.
trying to do is, um, the guy from Gurkha said a smart thing. He says, I don't want to make more new blends. I want to get rid of a lot of stuff that's not selling per se, and make more sizes than the ones that do sell. Because what he says is, humidors at shops are not getting any bigger, so it's kind of like a car lot. So he's like,
Mm,
if they can, let's say if a shop can only carry 500 different kinds of cigars, if they want to have one box of each out, right?
yeah.
Shelf space, right? So if you come out with tons of stuff, unless a store, because you see some stores they're very brand loyal. Like you could say at one store is like a Rocky store where they have all the Rockies, or they have all Monte Cristos, or all My Fathers, or all Tatuaje.
Yeah.
But very few stores they can't have all of everything. It's just not possible.
No. Yeah.
So let's just say most stores are kind of like middle of the road where they try to make one of each. So what does it matter if your company has tons of different stuff if they can't fit it in the humidor? And I feel like the humidors are a way to the internet, meaning you go and try one or two, and if you like it, then you buy a box on the internet. But how are you going to try one or two at a store if they're not carrying the shit? You know what I'm saying? There's so many.
Yeah. It's another challenge that I think the smaller companies are going to have
Yeah.
in the
But
future.
the bigger ones get lost. Look at the MX2. I remember the MX2 used to be popular in
Mm.
stores. I don't see anyone carrying MX2.
Yeah, you
Look
can
at
still get them at CI has them, and they have like that. What, the BX3 is that other one? I didn't care for the
No,
BX3.
you can get them on the internet. I'm saying, but
On the
because
stores, the brick and mortars. Yeah,
carry the new CAOs. You got the
right.
base come back out. You got the BX3. You got the Mortal Coil and the other one, the Firewalker.
Firewalker. Yeah,
Yeah, so there's so many, and then they have the classic lines and the Brasilia. But what I'm saying is, as time goes on, um, if you're I don't know. It's a mixture. But LFD doesn't make tons of new stuff. But people want the LFDs of the old. They want the 25th anniversary was great. You got to try that one, and they
yeah. I don't
want
know,
the
have
bull.
that one.
But I asked her. I said, why don't you just make the bull in a smaller size so you can make more of them? Now they don't want to.
Yeah.
They don't want to do it.
Interesting.
So I don't
Yeah.
think
Have you tried the one PG really recommended was the Cameroon cabinet?
that's
I
a great
really want to
cigar.
try that one.
That's a great cigar.
Yeah, I
And
can't find it. I've been looking
LFD
for it. It's
is
like,
LFD is known for their real strong shit. But know what's funny? Their best cigars are not their strong cigars. Isn't that crazy?
yeah, that is crazy. Like that's what they're known for. Like when I think of LFD, I'm thinking like it's a dark, you know, uh, you know,
Spicy,
uh,
kick your
full-bodied cigar. Yeah.
kick your ass, bro. Like double Lajeros. If you hold the smoke on double Lajeros, it's not
Oh
really on the
yeah.
tongue, but afterwards your stomach's like, oh my god, like you feel dizzy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying though?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
But
think I'm those kind of cigars because like it just those cigars. It's almost like, especially if I'm gonna have more than one cigar in a night, it's too much. It's
yeah, no, for sure. And uh, what other cigar? Oh, I picked up it's another Lajero cigar. It's the Oliva. So Oliva did I guess a collaboration with Aganorsa because I got an Oliva Nica Libre, and that's Aganorsa. So I picked one of those up. I haven't smoked that one yet, but I just picked it up. And I picked up this one. This has been around, I guess, for a while, but I never had it. It's an Espinosa. Um, it's
I
called
like the way
the
it looks. That's a cool
La.
band.
Yeah, the band is really. It has a purple foot ribbon at the foot, and then but
Kind of a little jab de Fuente right there with that purple foot.
yeah, and I saw it at Corona for like it was pricey. I want to say it was like 16. It might have been even like 17, $18. But then at Tobacco Depot down here that I go to, they have really good prices. This was like 13. Picked it up. I'll try. I never had it. I did some research on it, and apparently there was other La Provincias. This is the number 6. But I guess
Which
they had a.
which brand is
Uh,
that?
it's Espinoza. Yeah.
Interesting. You know what's funny about Espinosa? And they have some really cool, strong cigars, right? But we haven't seen like a high end from Espinosa. $20 cigar, $30 cigar.
No.
So,
No.
but what I'm saying is, I think it's going to happen because Espinosa makes some strong shit, man. Like
Yeah.
those warheads. Me and Doc,
601s.
yeah, 60, yeah, the 601s are very affordable, like, but they're good though. The 601
Yeah.
Maduro is kind of like a poor man's Liga number 9. It's a great cigar.
Yeah. Espinoza is a brand that I'm like, I passed over it many times. But I'm starting to explore them. I picked up the oh shit, is it Espinoza? Who makes the one we were talking about? Man, I keep forgetting the name.
He makes the Murcielago, and he makes the with the bat, and he makes the Laranja.
Oh, right. So I was talking about the Laranja earlier with I think with Geo, I think it was. The Laranja got a lot. The one with the orange label got a lot of hype. and I think it got a really good review. And
It did when it first came out, and then it kind of, died
yeah,
off.
yeah, I don't think a lot of people even know about it. I did have the orange one a couple times. I thought it was okay. I don't think it was worth. I think it got like a really high score. It was a cigar knob, or might have even been cigar aficionado.
Bro, I
It was
really
like
do
in the
Lago with the bat. If you like dark store,
yeah, that one is pretty good. I got someone recommended that when I was back in Hawaii. I was in another cigar
I mean,
group,
it's
and
not. It definitely has some raw power to it because it's a little on the brash side the cigar, but it still has good sweetness. That's a good cigar. Like what I'm saying.
yeah,
Um,
a lot of people don't even know about that cigar. It has like the bat. It looks like a Batman logo.
I
That's
I,
what
th-
I know.
I think the band is kind of tongue in cheek, kind of stupid, but it's a good
Yeah.
cigar.
Hmm.
It's a good cigar.
Yeah,
But
I
he has a lot of balls with his bands. Like that. That's a crazy band. And look at the 601. He's got like it looks like the old when the cannonball. You remember in Super Mario Brothers? But
yeah.
it looks like a big bomb. Like the old school one.
Oh yeah, I never. Yeah, like the warhead. Yeah, in the back of the warhead, right? They had.
Yeah, I gotta admit he takes that those warheads, man. Those have followings. Um, but it's not like guys in the stores. It's not like a Padron filing or David. But they have
No.
a place. I got to try that warhead with Sacco. I'm hoping I can time it, with him. And if I can,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to review it because
Yeah.
I really am looking forward to reviewing that because it's a not to say it's limited, but it's a limited production where this is the level 8 now, right? Um,
Yep.
and generally speaking, if you're going to be within the warhead and have a limited production every year or every other year, it's the new version should be stronger than the last. And that
Yeah.
last one was strong. This one,
Yeah. I don't know, man. The seven was pretty strong, and but I still think that 175th was stronger. Who makes the comfortably numb? That was the cigar I forgot the name
that
of
was the guy
earlier.
Oscar, man. That's not a strong cigar at all.
Okay, that was Oscar. That's Oscar
Yeah,
Valadares or
making like
Valadares.
he's making some like hippie cigars, chilling the fuck out on the beach. Oscar Valderas makes really chill cigars. So if you're in the mood for that, he kind of reminds me of who's that Jimmy Buffett kind of singer. You know what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
Yeah, Margaritaville, like this
Yeah.
real chill
Yeah. Jimmy
shit.
Buffett. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I got that one guy I told you about who was like a walking encyclopedia of cigar knowledge. He recommended the volume one comfortably numb. I guess they have three volumes. Maybe they have more, but I saw three. Like they had three different ones at the shop I went to the other
and
day.
those have a great band. They look really cool.
Yeah, so I picked up the one, and it didn't even say one on it. So I guess that was the. I'm assuming that's volume one because they had volume two, volume three, but he recommended volume one, so I picked that one up. I'm looking forward to trying that one. I haven't smoked it yet, so.
What do you got for tomorrow?
Oh, so I picked up the. Surprisingly, I don't know how I've never had it. It was just one that just I think I never bought it because of the price. Was the Ashton ESG. So I finally got one. I finally picked an ESG up. I was like, I got to do it, man.
I
Everyone's
think
saying
I
how
think
great it
you're gonna
is.
love that cigar. I think the ESG is phenomenal. I still prefer the VSG, but the ESG I feel is on the VSG level. The symmetry is not as good. The symmetry is a great cigar, but the symmetry has no balls, and
Yeah,
it just feels like a cigar that has no lajero and great flavor that dissipates way too fast. So if you want to, okay, let me rephrase that though. If you want a very clean, refreshing cigar,
yeah.
then, but for you with your taste, I think it's gonna be too little light in the pants. It's gonna be, you know what I'm saying
Well, I
though.
had the symmetry. I had the symmetry. And I think I had really high expectations because it's Ashton. So like Ashton, the bar's already raised. Especially because I smoked so many VSGs, and I was expecting it to be. I didn't know what it would taste like. I think I was expecting it to be, a medium to full, and to me, it was just a medium at best, and it
But you
just
know
didn't
why though?
hit me
I'm
right.
not mad about it. I think they wanted to make a cigar that they didn't have.
Yeah, okay, I can see that now.
If they made a new cigar with that competed with the VSG, then why would anybody get the VSG?
Yeah, right.
Hard for companies to make cigars that are the same with their other cigars because so in this case it'll be a good cigar for people that don't handle it because the VSG is pretty stout. Um, maybe that for guys that can't handle that, then get the symmetry. You know,
Yeah,
maybe they wanted to have like a because dude, the symmetry sells. It's in a lot of places, and it's not like
Yeah, sure.
it's been around for a while. And that's what I respect about the Ashton line. They don't constantly come out with new stuff, but what comes out, they don't get rid of it. Which means,
Yeah, that's a good
like for
point.
example,
Yeah.
if I woke up and they said we're discontinuing the VSG, I wouldn't believe you because the VSG
No.
like what 7, 8 sizes, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, and I just smoked a VSG the other night, man. I was like, it brought me back to like when I first started smoking them. When they first came out, they had a limit on those. Like you could only get. I remember at Holt. So I was told Holt's was the cigar shop. That's in Philadelphia, where I'm from. It was made for them. I don't know. Maybe someone can verify that, but that's where I remember buying them, and they had limits on them. You could only buy two at a time.
if it came out at that time, or just when our shops started getting them in Long Island. And this is in my newbie phases, and that was the top shelf cigar. That was
Yeah.
on the
Oh
top,
yeah.
and
Yep.
at the time it was like a $14 cigar. Back, let's say back in 2005, 6, 7, or something like that. Give it maybe a little later. I don't remember exactly, but when that came out in the shops, like that, if a guy was buying that, everyone in the shop was like, oh yeah, he must be
Yeah.
selling.
Yeah.
Because back then you can get cigars $3, $4. Back
Yeah.
then Romeo 1875s were like $5.99. So like
Yeah.
you could be
Oh yeah.
smoking, a really good, Also, I think back then there's more luxury cigars now than there was back then too, though.
Oh yeah.
It
Oh yeah.
wasn't the norm even 10, 15 years ago at shops to see $20 cigars at all.
No. No.
Nobody would buy that. It'd be like, what?
Yeah,
So
and they kept them behind the counter, behind the glass in the counter. I remember, so you couldn't. They weren't even out on like the regular shelves, the VSGs. Now it's like, it's funny how things have changed over
now
time.
every cigar minimum is $10. Most cigars are
Yeah.
around 15, and like 20 to 30 is it's not, dude. I mean, look, I mean, you guys just smoked that. Who was it? Is it Jeremy? He had the $40 My Father. So
Oh
like,
yeah,
I mean,
that's still kind of surprising me. But I
but
know the
now,
Garcia and
now,
Garcia,
now
but
My Father has two cigars over $30. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that's pretty shocking. But he said it's amazing, which makes me want to get it. But
Oh no,
I
I'm
typically
saying
wouldn't
the
spend that
cigars aren't,
much.
but that's what I'm saying. As a brand grows, like I said,
Yeah.
you'd be investing in making their best cigar. So up until I had the Garcia and Garcia, the best cigar I had, My Father, was the Le Bijou, which is great. And Bijou I can get for $10 to $15 depending on the
Yeah.
size. And great cigar. So when I had the Garcia and Garcia, I was like, wow, it actually was worth the $32. It's ridiculous, but it's
Yeah.
not the norm for their brand. But now
No.
they do cigars in the high 30s, right?
Yeah.
Now it starts maybe in a few more years they have three. So it's not that My Father's going to become a luxury brand, but just like Fuente, they're having a more high end range, which
Yeah.
gives you more respect in the cigar community.
Sure. Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
and,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah. 100% agree. And then the new Flor de las Antillas, that like if you go to Corona, it's not even on the floor. It's behind a glass wall with the Byrons. So and then right next to it's the unicorn. So
and
it's
it's
already like got its
think of
place.
My Father on the lines of Davidoff or high end Padrones or high end Fuentes, but we're seeing it, and they deserve to be there because if it sucked, ready, nobody would buy it. If
No.
you're selling a $35+ cigar and people have it and it's bullshit, you I can't stress it enough that it's going to fizzle out. Like, so the fact that people are buying it and they love it, it you get what I'm saying though. It's like
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah.
If it buys a high end luxury car and it's a piece of shit, like you're not going to get to the Mercedes or BMW if it's not worth it. I mean,
Yeah.
now what is worth it? I mean, well, I mean, if you want that level of luxury, whatever. But
It does like it is a little frustrating though for like that like someone like me or just the average Joe that's typically buys mid-tier cigars, and then you like a company, and then that company comes out with like a very expensive line that you really want to try because you love the company, but it's just outrageously priced, like Placencia, the new the Etafal, the Year of the Rabbit. The year of the Rabbit is actually more expensive than the Year of the Tiger. I'm seeing it sell for like 50, $55 down here, so I imagine
Placencia
it's even
is
more
another
elsewhere.
brand that they have in the past, what, 10 years, maybe a little less. 'Cause I remember when the first ones came out, and they were good. What had the Cosecha. What was the other one? What was the
Yeah,
Grand Reserve? What was the one that's the organic one? That was a good cigar. It's all
I can't
organic.
remember that.
It's
Okay,
the
I think
only
yeah, I never had that one, but I think I remember hearing about it.
it's the only certified organic. They don't use any pesticides for the leaves for bugs or whatever. It's a
Oh,
good.
okay.
That being said, I remember when they had the Almafuerte, and then guess what happened after that? Anytime I had Placencia, I wasn't going to have anything else because
Mm,
birthday was their best cigar. At the time, it was like $60. And so I said, yeah,
mm,
it's expensive, but it's about $4, $5 more than their regular ones. So for four,
mm.
I'd rather have
Yeah,
something way better. Yes, it's kind of like
yeah,
you a car for 30. Well, back then, say you bought a car for 30,000, but they said, but for 33,000, you can get the best model. So you're
right.
gonna get the best model. It's only a couple more dollars,
Yeah,
get the best shit. So
and they made them in those sizes that were unique to the Almafuerte,
yeah,
the
the size.
hexagon and the Solomon. Yeah,
The Almafuerte was a really what's crazy is even though it was around a $20 cigar, it was a really good value cigar for you got a lot out of it. That cigar when it came out for $15, $16 could hang out with you get what I'm saying though, like with a lot of sticks. It's the Almafuerte is a major cigar, and
yeah.
that's what put Spencer on the map in a lot of people's minds that oh shit, this is a legit brand. Like have you had the Almafuerte or no?
Yes, I've had the Almafuerte multiple times. I do like the Almafuerte, but I like all the placentas. I don't think there's a placenta I don't like. It ends up being there's ones that I like better than the others. So I've had every one of their lines other than their blends, other than the higher end one. So I never had the Year of the Tiger. I heard great things about it. Although I heard it was more mild, a more mild cigar. So that was kind of interesting. But I know Sacco had it, and now I can't find it. So I missed my chance. Maybe there might be one shop that might still have them. But it's $40, so it's expensive. But then the Etafal came out. That one was selling for like I think what was it? I want to say it was like $60, $70. So that one was just really expensive. So I'm like, I'll probably never try the Etafal, and that's going to be gone soon. So once it's gone, it's gone. And then
You know,
I told you,
what scares me though with inflation and everything else. At a certain point, what if all cigars become luxury cigars?
man, that's gonna suck. Then it's gonna be back to like the way it probably was back in the day, where only the wealthy people can afford to buy them. I mean, we'll probably be smoking them, but it'll be a lot less. It won't be like I won't be smoking three a day. I'll be going down to like one a month.
But you know what I'm saying? No,
It'll
what
suck.
I'm not saying it happens naturally. I'm saying, what if brands are like, listen, look, we're just gonna
Mm,
happen. Okay, and I'm not. It's not a crazy statement. Look at Cuban cigars. Cuban cigars are only for the rich now. And unless if you're a middle class guy and you want to take out a loan or max out your credit card, unless if
yeah.
you're rich, for a middle class guy to buy 1,000, 2,000, $3,000 box of Cubans because that's what they go for now. So Cuban cigars now are they're not catering at all for
Mm,
that shit's over. That shit's over.
yeah.
So on the
Yeah.
flip side, and we're seeing more and more regular brands make better shit. What if though all the major brands said, you know what, we're only going to make better shit? And I'm not saying it's going to happen because there's still more money in the masses in that
Right.
tier market. There really
Sure.
because most
Yeah,
people are middle class.
but it gets to the maybe it gets to the point where there's still there's still enough cigars in production that they sell, but the good shit's gonna be like $30 plus. That would suck because then it's like
What
I
I'm trying
almost feel like
to say,
that's
I've
happening
seen
now.
a shift in my life that when I was starting smoking cigars, the vast majority were low to mid tier cigars. The
Hmm.
vast majority.
Yeah,
Like the high end would be like Monte Cristo, which I'm not mocking. I'm just saying, but that was the high. Oh, this motherfucker's celebrating. He's smoking $12 Monte Cristo.
yeah,
Now that's laughable because like
yeah.
now max end realistically, you can go $30 plus, and that's not crazy. And
No,
you know what I'm saying though, and it's not like
yeah,
you go to a lounge if you said, "Oh, do you have any cigars over $20?" It's not like one box. Like I said, when I started smoking, they had the VSG as their top shelf, $14, $15 cigar, and
yeah,
now top shelf is much larger. It's almost like you could have a top wall of a four cornered unit,
yeah. Oh
and
yeah, for sure.
At what point does it become the whole humidor? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah. Like hypothetically, like and you know what? One thing I do start seeing is like there's these companies that come out that I've never even heard of, like El Septimo. Their whole line is like they're. I mean, they have some that are, I guess, somewhat affordable, but they have cigars that are like on average like 30, $40 and up. And I'm just like, I've never heard of this brand, and like all the cigars are like, almost all of them are very expensive. So
But
that's another.
to
Yeah,
compare it with inflation, right? If we go back to 10 years ago, 12 years ago, where the majority of cigars were like, let's say, $5 to $10, how much was gas? $1.79, $1.90. So everything has gone up more than double. Food, gas, everything. So in
yeah,
a way, $30 cigar, a $15 cigar 10 years ago, so maybe it's not that cigars are, it's almost like a lot of mid-tier pricing has become higher in pricing compared to 10 years ago. So maybe I'm sounding like an old man. If you live long enough, like they say, they say if you live long enough, you'll see yourself become the villain. So in this case, you live
mm,
long enough, and you're like, well, back in my day, and maybe I'm showing my age. I'm only gonna be 40, but I could say 10, 12 years ago, it was a different climate. But even with the inflation, though, 10, 12 years ago, the majority of stuff in the lounge was not luxury.
no,
What we consider now. You know what I'm saying, though?
yeah. I mean, I remember like back in the day, there was always like even Ashtons, just the regular Ashtons. I couldn't afford those. Um, I mean, the VSGs was like a special occasion cigar. Um, but now, yeah, now it's the game has changed. There's so many more high end cigars, and now you're getting to the point
So it's
where,
not that, like right now, it's not that, let's say, most middle class are making fiscally more money, but what if people are just justifying spending more on the things they enjoy? Because I think more people are living out for the moment than, like, for example, my father didn't have any hobbies. He went to work, went home, always had a used car, put his money in the bank because he was going to retire and move to Florida and be set for life. I think most people now, the cost of living is so high that they're like,
yeah,
what the point? Enjoy yourself because there
yeah,
is no saving for the future. The cost of food, the cost of living, the cost of rent, the cost of utility is so high. So fuck it, enjoy a nice cigar because I think people now more live in the moment and week to week. But hey, that's surviving and having a great life than the fear of like I said, my father, not that he grew up with enough poverty for the first 4 years of his life in Italy, and then he moved here, and even then his mindset because his parents were paupers for the first 35 years of their life.
mm,
My father, as he grew up and made money, even though he wasn't in poverty anymore, there was still poverty in his mind of make money. Well, we can't be spending this because
mm,
we still have that
yeah.
memory of what it was
That's
like to
how
be
he
poor.
grew up. Yeah, what
But now
you
our
yeah,
generations say, right?
yeah,
We grew up so
yeah,
good that we're like,
yeah.
we're not worried about the future. We're always assuming there's gonna be work, there's gonna be food, there's gonna be money. And so we're blowing our money on cigars, and cigar companies like keep on making more expensive shit.
Mm,
And not that they're not worth it, but I think we're becoming more it's almost like a drunk on our own. You get what I'm trying to say though.
yeah, yeah. Like they're just
Everything
meeting.
is relative.
They're just catering to the like the market. So if people are gonna buy, like it wouldn't surprise me. I guarantee you that Flor de las Antillas is gonna do really well, and then my father's gonna come out with another like 40. It might even be more than $40 cigar for all we know. I mean,
I
maybe it'll.
I think
Yeah,
they should make a $34 version of the Bijou.
I wouldn't surprise me. I mean, the one thing I do like is the 100 años. I know you thought you
No,
prefer
I
the
enjoy,
regular.
but what I'm saying is with the Años, and that was the same price really. The
That's my
Años
yeah.
for
That's what I
me
was
is
getting at.
the Bijou I love so much that when you call yourself the same name, and it to me it just
Mm,
became a darker, heavier, simpler version of it. It lost the original intent. And if they just would have made a
mm,
new cigar without that name,
sure.
does that make
Yeah.
any sense? So
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. I was just gonna say that that was kind of like a what I would consider kind of like a limited edition version of an existing cigar in their line, and that one I would have expected them to charge more. but they actually kept it at a reasonable price. Actually, it's almost on par with the regular La Bijou. So I
Yeah.
thought that was kind of cool. And then, but in the meantime, they're making another version of their regular line that costs $40. So but I will give it to obviously it's a different cigar, and
No,
the
dude, that
presentation
has
is really nice.
lot of
Yeah,
age.
it's a lot to.
I
Yeah,
heard.
it's a totally different cigar.
Yeah.
I do want to try the 10th anniversario Jaime Garcia, and there was that other one. There was like a 15-year anniversary one. The was it Don Pepin 15-year?
Dude,
I don't even see
I
that
heard
one.
they're around $20. Those are phenomenal cigars.
Yeah, I would like to try that. The Jaime Garcia 10th anniversary or anniversary, whatever it is. I do see that down here, but not the Don Pepin. I have not seen that at all.
I
So,
think the higher end version with the Jaime Garcia. I remember it was years ago when they had that 10th anniversary because I remember they had the Garcia and they had the Jaime. And I was like, I saw one was like $30, one was like
mm,
20. I was like, no,
20.
I'll do
Yeah.
this. But I think they said that has the tobacco. Was it the Oro? What is that tobacco that they don't grow in Cuba no more because of the mold? It's
Oh,
called like the golden hair tobacco or something like that because it's
okay. I'm not familiar.
yeah. If next time look up, it's the Oro something. But basically, it's a strain of tobacco that is very prone to mold, and because of the quality control in Cuba, they lost whole yields because when they were aging, they grew a lot of mold. So
Okay.
it's legal to grow over there now. So they found a way to grow it in Nicaragua without the mold, and
Oh,
dude,
nice.
that was a phenomenal cigar.
Oh,
Uh,
I gotta try it then. Yeah, I mean, I'm sold. Like
yeah,
I gotta pick that one up. I mean, like I said, I don't like to spend that much, but if it's something that I have a good feeling I'm gonna like, and you've already had it and liked it, so I'm sure
yeah,
I'll enjoy it. Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I see it at one shop like all the time, and I pass by it because of the price, but I'll probably get it in the near future.
and we
Um,
talked about in the past. I'm not sure it was with you or with someone else on the channel about Cohiba with the lawsuit about how they actually it looks like it's been
mm,
going on for like 20, 30 years. This lawsuit. What's going to
right.
happen? Cohiba has to change their name. I don't know. Um, I don't see a downside per se. It's not like they go out of business. Just if anything, a new name could give you a refreshing start. And you know what I'm saying there, where you don't need to quit and say, "Oh, we're not going to make Cohiba no more." You can still make the same cigars and just change the name. And if anything, the guys that love them will still buy them, and
Yeah.
you'll get people that didn't like Cohiba on the non because if anything, making a non-Cuban version with the same name, even though I love those cigars, there's is still that element of yeah, but it's not the real version, and I can understand that.
Mm,
At the same time, the people that left Cuba, okay, after the revolution, if they left and they really had the rights, and it was their brand, how could you say the new one's not the real version? So, in my opinion, a reset. So if Partagas, Cohiba, and example on those non-Cuban versions, if they had to reset the name, they could be stupid and just if they wanted to add an asterisk, if they wanted to put
mm,
quotes, or if they want,
yeah.
to, add a vowel, or what do you do? What do you think?
Yeah, and then wait for the next lawsuit to come through for another 20 more years. Yeah, I think General Cigars, they just have their, it's going to be hard to put them out of business, even if they change their name. They just have that recognition. And I think even if they change their name completely, I think they would still do well. They're still going to, people are going to
I
pick.
think it's an opportunity that a major rebranding of the name. I don't think it'd be a new reason for guys to try it. You know what I'm saying, though? And
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it would be, I mean, maybe in the short term, it would take a small hit, but then once it caught on, that's what that let's say they changed their name completely. That okay, that was the Cohiba, or that was the
yeah,
La
because you
Gloria,
they come in
or
to
the
go, oh,
Punch.
what's this new cigar? You know what I'm saying, though, and you know, uh,
Yeah,
and once
yeah.
again, I think that being stuck with the old Cuban names, even though they'd want to, if they had to change it, I don't see a downside because once again, the people that enjoy it go, oh yeah, that used to be Partagas. But if they had to change the name, uh, I don't see a problem. I mean, well, you'd have to come up with some classic names, and um, and if you think about all those names, for the most part, it's a one-word name. Cohiba
Yeah.
is
Punch.
yeah,
Yeah.
Punch. Um, I guess Sancho Panza too, but I don't know.
Yeah. Have you heard anything on that? Like, have you heard that? Have they?
Last I heard, the judge, the way they put it, because I think it was a situation where they had proof that when the guy filed for it, like because it was all about intent, and when the guy filed for the patent, for the name copyrights of Cohiba, that the intent was he knew what he was doing. Uh, I don't
Mm.
know. I'm not the right one. I'm not a
There's
lawyer.
like legalese, like yeah, there's
Yeah,
legal terminology
but
or
once again, how
yeah.
could you say it's just Cohiba though? Because I'd say half of General Cigars, like you don't have to worry about Macanudo, you don't have to worry about CAO, you don't have to worry about what's other non-Cuban names that
Yeah,
they.
for general, shit. But I know what you're saying. The ones that don't have a corresponding Cuban company that was named after. Yeah, they don't have to change their name. Would it be funny though if the name change does hurt the Cohiba and all the other Cuban named companies, but then CAO like takes off because like everyone's familiar with them. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is always going to be. It's kind of like if two mob families are fighting, the other mob family they're not fighting at all, so they could.
like CAO becomes like the number one General cigar.
Yeah,
So people think General went under, and that's all that's left. And then everyone else thinks the other the new rename is a boutique brand, and they're afraid to buy it.
well,
It could
that's the
happen.
question. The question is like, what would you name it? And that's
Yeah,
is I don't, if there's no power in the name, why would they be losing this lawsuit? There is power in the name, so I don't know. I don't have an answer.
yeah.
Uh,
And then they could just keep the same like general look of the label, of the band, and maybe just change like just slightly change it, but it's the same band, and then people would still recognize it enough, that that's
you
the
know what I
thing.
would do? I just make it real simple. Keep the name, but remove the vowel. So
Mm.
punch P blank NCA.
Yeah,
In your mind, you're still going to see punch.
yeah,
For
yeah,
Cohiba, I would say COH blank
yeah,
EA. Hey, in your
yeah,
mind, you're going to go, oh, that's Cohiba. And
yeah,
I'd probably,
yeah,
and there's no, and you can't say it wouldn't be the same name, you know?
yeah, yeah. They'll probably do something like that. It's kind of a silly lawsuit because it's who really cares at the end of the day. I mean,
Well, here's the
Cuban
thing.
cigar companies are still
It's not
making their money.
said that in the general factory, they had Cohiba, and the brand said Silencio, but it had a red dot. And what it was is those are Cohibas they sell in Europe legally. They sell
Yeah.
General Cohiba in Europe, like the Cohiba Black, but it's just called Silencio. So they're not stupid, man. But
Yeah. Those companies, man, they got. I'm not too worried about them. Yeah, Joshua was saying that they just spell it backwards. Yeah, like a mirror image
yeah,
of the.
bro,
That's a good idea.
I just think that it'd be exciting to see this rift, and if anything, it just shows like it's like a dick move because cigar is all about the love, right? So for that kind of split,
Yeah.
and especially
Yeah.
now there's more Cuban cigar hate with not only the quality
Mm.
control but with the pricing. Cuban cigar pricings are, like I said, there was a
Yeah,
guy.
I heard.
The guy we were talking about is like, we're really not going to be smoking Cubans anymore, and he's a devout Cuban smoker. But the price is
Mm.
astronomical, and then you add the fact that
The
legit
construction.
not only that,
Yeah.
legit Cuban importers are importing fake Cuban cigars
All right.
with
Yeah.
with with, with tax stamps that are fake. Within it, so
Yeah.
going to Monte Fortuna and they sell real Cubans, but let's say 10% of their load they did an investigation. Oh, well, somehow our distributor, they were throwing in reels with the fakes. It's kind of like with cocaine. They buy real cocaine and they chop it up 50-50,
Mm.
or because that would just they step on it to make more of it. You know what I'm saying though? So
Okay.
so within the Cuban cigar community, you have fakes outright, you have fakes with the reels, and if you get in the reels, you have construction issues. And even if it works and no is real, it's
Yeah.
really fucking expensive. So it's not even. I'm sorry, it's not even really expensive. It's really. I don't know any non-Cuban cigars that are $2,000 a box. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, and for what you get, is it really worth it at the end of the day? Like, you spend all that money, and is it really going to be that much better
No,
than let's say a high
no,
end
no,
Nicaraguan or Dominican?
no.
No.
Sacco has sent me some great Cuban cigars, and they were amazing on the high end side. But
Okay.
let's just say on the high end side, $50 to $100, some really great shit. But that's not bro. The new Cohiba that came out just recently is a $340 cigar.
Oh my God,
So
Gurkha prices.
yeah, exactly. And Gurkha's gonna take over Cuba. Exactly. But what I'm saying is at that point, bro, like you can't justify a $350 Cohiba. You can't.
No, for like an hour of your life, you just spent $350. Like, no, even the best cigar, I wouldn't
Basically,
spend that much.
basically, Cubans now
Can
with the new
afford it.
pricing, and that's now. Wait till next year. The pricing
Mm.
now with new Cubans, you have to be a sultan. At a certain point, you got to be like, I, you know what I'm saying though, because
Yeah,
let's just say
that's
you smoke one a day, and let's just say they're even let's lowballing at $250 a stick for Cohiba. What are you gonna drop? 1,500 a week, 6 grand a month on cigars.
yeah. And then just like any other cigar, you still gotta keep it in your humidor, and then you could have issues with that, and it's just not worth it. I'm kind of curious. Okay, so that's the price with these gray market companies or whatever. I know Jeremy mentioned that term. But I'm kind of just curious to know, like on my next trip, let's say I go to Europe or something. Like, are they gonna, what's the average price? Because I know, like my last trip, I went to Spain, and I was picking up a bunch of Cubans and these aren't the expensive ones, but I would say on average, let's say they were like between $10 and $15, probably closer to 15. I'm kind of curious to know how it's affected the European markets or any other market where you can get Cubans if they're also more expensive now. I don't know,
Well,
or if it's
go is
just
I could go by people here in the lounge that were in England and also in Australia, which there's no difference. It's all England and Australia have astronomical prices with taxes, right?
yeah, sure.
Not just taxes, but the cost of business because imagine the cost of electricity and power and everything in the lounge. They were saying like, bro, he was saying he was smoking a Cohiba Cuban for $30, but it was the like almost a pequeño size. Like he fucking so.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about? Like 60, 70, $80. Imagine going to a cigar shop, and I'm talking about in the pound. Imagine you go to a lounge and everything is 60 pounds and up. With 60
Oh
pounds,
man.
probably like 75 American. Imagine
Yeah.
going to a lounge and everything is $75 and up. All right.
Man.
I guess
I wouldn't be
at
going to the lounge that
that point,
often.
you're like, I'm gonna smoke one cigar tonight and be sad. Like one stick, and you're
And then you got to pay
like,
for the alcohol on top of it.
oh, dude, but I'm talking about like on the So imagine like a regular Cuban Monte Cristo, which is going to be great, or a good cigar if it works. But come on, $90, $100,
Yeah.
$200, like you know, uh, $300, like that's dude at that price, man. That's
That's where you're like you're smoking that shit to the nub. You're burning your fingers and your lips to smoke that cigar.
bro. At that point, when you order the cigar, they
If you
should
don't
have
like it, you're smoking it to the nub.
they need girls coming out with like candles and a little and like clapping their hands and singing you a song and a
You
lot.
better get the full experience.
So just imagine like if you're in America for
And a
300.
massage. I want a massage afterward.
Yeah, bro. $300, I can have. Let's just take a nice Fuente or Padron, right? I can get like a nice high end one for $30. Go out for a steak dinner for myself, $100. I mean, nice dinner, 2 drinks, steak dinner, right, and dessert, $100 by myself. That's 130, 170. You definitely get some company. I'm just saying. You know, so,
Yeah,
I'm just
inflation,
saying.
man. This is the
Dude,
world we live in now.
so $300 in England, one Cohiba. $300 in like Detroit. You could
Happy
smoke a
Indiana cigar.
you could smoke a Cohiba, have a girlfriend and a steak. You know what I'm saying? And you'll have change left over for $300.
I remember
Like
when
you
I
got
was in England. I mean, they're probably. I remember when the pound was like. I mean, it took a hit. I mean, even the euro. But I remember, the euro was like 25% more than the dollar. The pound was like 50% more than the dollar. So
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
when
would have
I
been
went
worse.
to Italy, I think the euro and the pound at a certain point it was like 1.56. So it was almost like 60% more than the dollar. It was strong,
Yeah.
but then it went down. Now I think what it's
It's
like
almost even. I think it might be less. I don't know.
but dude with the differences, bro. Like I said, like imagine whatever collection you have right now. Imagine if you were in England, a regular middle class guy, and you're trying to stock up. Like like it's
Yeah, there's one guy I watch. He's where does he live? He lives somewhere in Europe, and he gets like the American cigars, but like for him, that's like that's like Cubans for him. So he does reviews on the American cigars, but he actually gets like some of the newer stuff too. So I guess he's ordering online, but it's pretty cool to see that perspective. A reviewer from Europe.
imagine paying like $50 for a Bijou. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
they pay a lot of money for like just a cigar we take for granted. Like even like my father, like he gets on my father. I'm sure he probably paid like maybe even double than for what we can get it for here. But
Something like cheap and easy, like Cbid. Like, oh, I got a box of Cortado for $53 delivered. Like, like bro,
yeah.
like I don't in I think it's in Canada. I don't think you can even order cigars online.
Oh, dude, Canada is no joke. I went to Vancouver, and I went to a cigar shop there, and of course they had the Cubans, but the prices were just outrageous. This was back in like it had been like 10 years ago, maybe more. It was around probably 10 years ago. But I mean I couldn't even afford any Cubans. It was just outrageously priced. And then Japan too, Australia as well. Australia was ridiculously. I mean it was just one I couldn't find that many shops, and then of the ones I did find, it was outrageously priced. Japan wasn't too bad, but it wasn't cheap. It was expensive. Like you're probably going to be spending like upwards of mid 20s to 30s for a cigar. So it was for a Cuban.
Bro, can you
So
imagine in England and if you're walking down the street with the Monte Cristo? Imagine getting robbed for the Monte Cristo. Like,
oh man,
give me that
you're like
number two.
fighting. You're like pulling on one.
Dude, if you see somebody walking down the street with the Cohiba in Europe, you got $300. He's got more, right? You know what I'm saying?
That's where you keep like a quorum in your pocket. You throw
Yeah,
it on the ground and run.
bro, it's astronomical, and
Oh
I I'm gonna promise you on everything that's holy, it's not gonna get better. I can't like
nah. Yeah, it's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse. But I do think there'll still be some companies out there like Oliva. They're kind of known to like they don't price
no,
gouge.
I'm talking about on
Uh,
the side. I'm on the Cuban side. You know what I'm
oh, the
saying?
Cuban side, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's going to get worse. I mean, it's going to get worse from the non-Cubans too. But the Cubans, man, I haven't. It's a Monte Fortuna. I went on their site a while back, and this is before I guess they got really popular. I heard about them from Cigar Obsession. That's when I
Yeah,
first heard
yeah.
about them. And
That's why he had to shut his channel down. He got a lot of strikes because he was advertising tobacco.
okay, yeah. So I went on their site. I had someone in a cart, and I was gonna buy them, but I just never did. But the prices weren't too bad back then. This was like a year ago, maybe.
Well, there's different tiers. Like you could have got Ramon Alones maybe $12 a stick. And Ramon Alones is a good mid tier cigar. So there are mid tier. Right, you have Ramon Alones. Who else? You know what I'm saying? There's some not gonna say lower tier, but lower tier than like Trinidad and
Yeah,
Cohiba.
Bolivar maybe or
Well, Boulevard is a tier, but yeah, I think Boulevard might be. Well, Boulevard could get expensive too, though, because
but
especially
Monte.
when you have regionals or a limited edition, eh, dude. I guess I saw this box. It was a 10 count box of Cohiba. And it was like $3,400, and I want to throw up. Like, holy shit,
Yeah, yeah. It's outrageous, and if now the prices are just so astronomically high,
bro! At this
I think.
point, Cuban cigars are more expensive than a Chinese girlfriend for the month. You know what I'm saying? The DVD guys like you could get a girlfriend for 1 month, 3,000, or you can't even get a box of Cohibas. You're like, what about Cohiba? Oh, Cohiba more than girlfriend. You know, like think about that. We're in a reality now where 10 Cohibas it costs more than a 1 month girl. You know, like
I hate to say it though, man. They're gonna. I mean, as long as people are buying them, man, they're just gonna. They're just gonna. I mean, it really the market dictates where the prices go. So if people are pumping out that kind of money for those Cubans, man. I don't see it changing anytime in the near future. I mean, but you kind of wonder like who who the hell can afford to buy those on a regular basis, you know?
But
And
I
is
think
it really
a lot
worth
of them
it?
go to Hong Kong and China. I heard.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's not just the American market; it's the global market really that's driving these
Yeah,
prices up.
even though Americans, let's say, buy a lot of Cubans per se, but also here's the thing too: Americans buy a lot of fake Cubans. You know what I'm saying? Though, you know,
Mm.
because even before this Monte Fortuna situation, um, I heard a number that more more fake Cuban cigars uh, in the world were smoked than real ones.
Well, yeah, but you know, I kind of wonder though, are the fake Cubans? So the fake Cubans, I'm assuming, and correct me if I'm wrong, that they would be Cuban tobacco. Like I would, I mean,
Yes, yes and no, yes and no. There are fake Cubans that it's the floor sweepings, which you don't want to smoke that, and then
no.
there's fake Cubans that, for example, let's say me and you start a cigar company, and we're making good quality cigars at Dominican Republic or Nicaragua, right? With tobacco from around the world. If we sit, I'm not saying we're doing this, but let's just say allegedly these guys in the movie they get the packaging and they fool the people. Oh yeah, these are Cuban cigars. You can make more money selling your Dominicans as Cubans, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what would worry me. Okay, if I paid that much money, I'd be pissed regardless of what it was. Like I would want to get what I paid for. But if
Yeah,
it's
dude. What if then the fake Cubans you buy tasted great and they all worked and there was no issues with the draw and you're like, these were fake, but they were really good. Like
they're
like,
they got to be Nicaraguan.
it's, no,
Yeah, I mean, it'd probably be
it's a
Dominican,
scary
but
world, and we haven't really seen it yet. But could there be possibility in the future for fake non-Cuban cigars?
yeah. I mean, if the prices go crazy high, you know, you might start seeing like the fake my fathers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got my uncle. My
This
uh,
doesn't taste like Nicaraguan tobacco. It's
yeah,
Honduran or something. I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. You got my uncle, or instead of my father, your mother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, yeah. What do you smoke? I'm smoking your mother tonight. Holy shit! You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. I hope it doesn't get that bad. Well, if anything, right now, at least as far as the variety of not for non-Cubans, it's like it's the best it's ever been in my lifetime.
Are
So
you telling me to buy a box of Opus Y for $200? You know?
I
Yeah,
don't know, man. It's
yeah,
yeah, it is crazy. We'll
yeah.
see what happens.
It's gonna be Opus. Why not? You know, saying why not? You know, I mean, it's possible. You know, saying though. I mean, I'm trying to think of other funny fake names, but I mean, um, you know, instead of Fuente, it's Fuenta. It's Funta. You know, say Fuenta. Only Fuenta is Fuenta. You know, saying
Yeah,
you know,
fake non-Cubans. That'll be the day, man.
yeah,
Well, I'm
yeah.
sure there are fake opuses though. Apparently, so I don't know. You got to be careful with those
Well,
high-end
yeah,
ones.
Padron, it's pardon. The R is just before the D. You know, pardon. Say that. Oh, I got a pardon 26. It's pretty good. You know, Fuente.
Yeah, it'll get so bad that the Cubans will be making fake non-Cubans.
Ah, yeah, dude. Well, once Chinese start coming in with Chinese,
Oh man.
dude, you know,
Well,
saying
someone said, someone didn't someone mention a
yeah,
Japanese cigar? Maybe Sako, I think, might have
yeah,
mentioned they
no,
had
yeah.
like a
No,
Japanese.
there is a Chinese brand, and I think there's Chinese, um, where they buy the tobacco rolled there, but there also is, I think, Chinese tobacco, and I don't, you know, I don't know, man. I just think we're in a. We'll see what happens. I think it's gonna be crazy. Because think, why not, dude? There's fake Nikes. There's fake Rolex.
Yeah,
Like, so
sure.
the fact that more fake Cuban cigars are made than real Cubans, someone's buying this shit. And
Yeah,
I mean, to say that all of us have never smoked a fake Cuban would have to be a lie. Because I smoked some fake Cubans that were garbage, and I smoked some Cubans that maybe they were fake, but maybe they were good though. I don't know. That's the
yeah.
luxury
That's a
of smoking
that,
Cuban
that
cigars. You know that generally they're real, but like there's no reason to fake a Macanudo. But
no.
I mean, yeah, Mac my noodle. You know, what I'm saying a lever Series B.
The Oliver Series B. Yeah, man, it is crazy. I'm trying to think of any other cigars I smoked recently. I think, yeah, that again that EP Creo TAA, that was the best one I had recently, and that Epic I really impressed me. I got
Yeah,
it.
they'll make a new version of that. They'll call it the Pee Pee Gorilla. You know, uh, uh, I don't know. Monte Cristo. What could you say, Monte Cristo? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of. Once again,
We
we'll
should
see what
You
happens.
should make a list. Make your a top 25 list of
A
all
fake
the
cigar. Yeah,
the fake non-Cuban
yeah.
cigars.
Monte Cristo. A Monte Cristo. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah,
I
yeah.
did see a Monte Cristo. It was surprising because so you recommended the Espada, and I picked one up. But then I saw one today. It was like an Espada Oscuro for like $11, but it was a big size. Did Gio get it? Is he in the 300 club?
Yeah, yeah. Gio thinks he's a funny fucking guy, and all I can
Yeah,
say
but
is you're not gonna fuck with Richie. You know what I'm saying? Though, look, clearly, I think I proved. You already knew, but Richie's a pretty tough guy. Did you see my feet?
oh man, how? Yeah, we talked about that, man. I couldn't do it, man. That's like I
Bro,
don't know.
did you see the bandages and what it looked like today afterwards, bro? Like,
Yeah. Well, it's gonna take some time to heal, but man, I give you credit for
yeah,
going
bro,
through that
bro.
without painkillers.
I went to my side job today for 3 hours on a Saturday. You know,
Just out of curiosity, is it the painkillers? Did you prefer not to be on those because you don't like the effects of them?
no, they
I'm
wouldn't.
the same way.
They wouldn't give me any.
Oh shit, the VA man.
Yeah,
They give you some
they're like, yeah,
the
go buy some Tylenol. They told me. I said, could you at least
wow.
prescription, so I can get it for free? Nah. They said, go get some Tylenol.
Yeah, the VA man. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Little, literally, bro. I mean, you think about that in any other form. We talked about that. That'd be a form of torture.
Yeah.
Getting
Yeah.
your feet, ripping
Yeah.
out
Without
all.
any painkiller, like what the hell? Like, I mean, you have you have a background where you're used to dealing with pain, but the
Bro,
average Joe, I mean, the average Joe, I couldn't do it.
bro, I just heard 4 gunshots.
Oh shit,
I
that's
heard
scary.
4 gunshots and then an engine take off really loud. That's
Wow, that's not a
that's
good sign.
that's generally a drive-by. Holy
Yeah.
dude,
Fortunately for me, I hear gunshots all the time, but it's because there's a police academy over here. So
yeah, but not at
I know
nighttime.
that.
They're not shooting. They're
No,
not
not
shooting.
nighttime.
Not
No,
at night.
no, no.
Not at night. Not at nighttime.
Yeah. We live in a crazy world, man. Yeah,
Bro,
unfortunately.
it's Saturday night. It's 11:30. This is statistically bad shit happens at nighttime, and Saturday night is probably the number one night when people get shot because people are drinking, people are stupid. The girls are all out, so guys are trying to get some, and if they can't get some, they'll get something else. And
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying
yeah,
though? Like, I don't miss going out to bars or nightclubs at nighttime. I'm old enough to I'm like, you know what? I don't.
yeah. No, I'm the same way. I mean, and I go to the lounges, but the clubs and all that. Actually, over here in Tampa, they have a couple. They're actually like cigar lounges, but they're also clubs. So that's kind of interesting. But I don't even go to those places. They actually do really well business wise. They're always packed. That's one of the reasons I don't go there.
Like it's
It's
like
just
there's girls there and there's dancing.
yeah, it's like a club, like a straight up club. It's a cigar lounge and a club combined.
Wow.
And they serve food a lot of these
Dude, that's
places.
actually like meeting a girl at a cigar at a nightclub. And then she's like, "You want to buy me a Padron?" You're like, "Fuck
Yeah,
yeah, yeah."
I'm telling you, I haven't been to any yet. There's one in
Bro.
downtown Tampa.
I'd buy that girl a Quorum cigar. I'd buy her.
Yeah, the cheapest one you could get.
Yeah, I'd be like, "Yeah, yeah." Here's like a Cuban sandwich. I got you a sandwich, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's funny because you can get a fresh corn over here too, because JC Newman's like right down the road.
Bro,
But
that
yeah, they
cigar
got
is a sin.
the I still have never had the quorum. Like I don't think I ever will. But
You need to never do that. Don't ever, if you hit rock bottom, don't ever smoke for them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you lost your job and you're on the corner of the street, don't ever smoke a quorum cigar.
still don't even smoke quorum. Rather smoke like cigar butts of a decent
Yeah,
cigar than a quorum.
yeah, dude, I can't. I don't know what quorum cigars are made out of, but it's not
But
love.
it's the worst tobacco known to man.
It's not love. It's not love. And what's funny is, quorum cigar is like the #1 cigar in America. Do you know that?
Man, that's crazy, man. I don't know. Like JC Newman, they make, I'm not a big JC Newman guy. I mean, I like the Pearl, the was it the Pearl Del Mar? That one's okay.
Yeah,
But
that's okay cigar, and it's not bad tasting for what if you get them for
yeah,
$5.
right, five. I think like six is like
I wouldn't even go 8, 9, $10 in that. No, and
no. That point
we're
you get a
talking,
Milano or
no, but
something.
we're talking about lounge price. If you're getting Pearl Demar on the internet, this should be $2. You know what I'm saying though?
Mm,
Like a
mm.
box for like $60. But uh, yeah, quorum cigars, bro. Yeah, I think quorum is like by volume. Now, who's smoking it? Obviously, working class men that are probably driving for a living. Because all the guys I saw buying quorum, they buy a bundle, and the guys were like, "Yeah, I smoke a bundle a week. I smoke 5 cigars in my truck." Okay,
Wow.
let's say you're driving a truck or a delivery truck or a sewer truck or whatever, whatever it is, something where you're in the car and they just want to have a tobacco. But can you imagine smoking 5 quorum a day? I would die.
Oh God, no.
I would.
I never had it, but as bad as it is, like any bad cigar, I wouldn't want to smoke that many a day. But interestingly enough, the JC Newman factory, they're the only, I believe, I might be wrong, but I believe they're the only tobacco company that's still in business in Tampa, that's actively in business, that's rolling cigars in factory. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I believe you're right on that. But it's just like it's nothing to be proud of those cigars. It's
But yeah, but if they're making money, I guess that's the main thing.
but that's
They're
like
making
saying what's the #1 selling beer. It's probably like the,
Budweiser or
no, no, no,
Coors.
no, no, even cheaper than that. Like by volume. Like you get the
Oh,
guys.
Natty Ice or something.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. Like those guys are
Yeah,
drinking for effect. They're not drinking for flavor. Like
yeah.
Budweiser, top shelf. You're talking about like what's the cheapest beers? Like Steel Reserve. Yeah. What? Okay, the cheapest beer I ever saw. Yeah, Bush. Yeah, but even this shit even lower than Bush. Like Colt 45. Colt 45. Do you remember there was a beer made? Arizona iced tea. It's the
Yeah,
99. They used to
yeah.
make a beer for 99 cents. Do you remember that?
I remember the. It was Arizona. No, I wasn't familiar with Arizona. I didn't. I know that the
Bro, so
whole
back in New
craze
York,
with.
back in the day, they yeah, no, Pabst would be top shelf. I'm talking, bro, there was a beer. It was a 24-ounce tall boy, and it was 99 cents, and only the homeless guys would come in and buy it. So one day, all the guys, because it was Cigar Lounge in New York, the crazy one, also sold beer. They had it was like a deli kind of a thing, beer, cigarettes, gelato. Anyways, we bought it one time, right? We all tried it. We poured it in little shot glasses, and we all spit it out. Bro, it was like a malt liquor beer for 99 cents.
Yeah.
It was the shittiest. And these homeless guys would come in, and they'd be like, "Oh, I got 72 cents," and we'd all throw them a quarter. Hey, bro, and
Close enough.
what I'm saying.
They're
No,
having a
if a
nice time.
guy's in bad of a shape, if guys came in, we'd throw them a dollar, whatever. Hey, bro, God bless. I mean, I'll just be happy you're not him tonight. You know what I'm saying? Though, you drinking that shit, man. Oh my God. Like,
God forbid that ever translates to the cigar world. You'd be out front of the lounges like, can I get a quorum?
yeah, no, yeah,
I need
dude.
like 30 cents more.
Yeah, yeah, just yeah, you don't even gotta know. You know, yeah, yeah,
Some
exactly.
rich guy comes by, yeah, here you go.
Yeah,
Here's your 20
yeah,
cents.
yeah. Good luck,
And
man.
they're going and smoke the My Fathers,
Yeah,
the $100 My Fathers.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're drinking, Heineken or whatever, and like, yeah, I'm just trying. If I had 22 more cents, I could buy a beer tonight. And you're like, oh my God. Yeah, but
Uh, oh, there was one other cigar I wanted to mention that I heard really good things about. It's a Drew Estate. It's the Army of Angels. So that one, I think it just came out, and they have two. They have a Connecticut, I think it's Connecticut, and a Maduro. But it's for those that like Drew Estate, that might be worth trying. I picked one up. I picked up the Maduro version. That was actually the one that I was telling you about. Oh, sorry, you broke up. I can hear you now. Yeah, the Army of Angels is the new Drew Estate. It's like $14 here, so I imagine it's gonna be like 16, 17, $18 elsewhere. But yeah, I heard good things about it though. One guy I talked to at CI had one Cigar Internationals. He said it was really good, and then the Medora one, and then that was the one I was telling you about. That's one of the online reviewers ranked it as his top pick, and they had a picture of that reviewer on the at the like in like right outside the box. They had a tag with that YouTube reviewer's face on it that said number one pick. This person's number one pick of 2022. So yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. I've never seen that before, and that was at Corona. So apparently they're advertising like these YouTube reviewers their picks. Well, it was only him. There's only one person, but that might be the new trend now.
has lost the respect of the cigar world because more people get their information out from
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, from cigar. Bro, cigar aficionado is a
Yeah.
joke. It's a fucking joke. It's a joke. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. It makes you wonder, like some of these lower end cigars that are getting such high reviews. But every now and then, I think they're on par. But it's just
right,
because they're not
right.
consistently on par.
Okay, but here's the thing. You're a smart guy, firm. What do you call a guy that's
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, you lose trust in the community. But a lot of people that just don't know any better are probably going to pick up those cigars anyway. So I don't know. They must have some kind of deal with those companies. So I guess there's corruption involved. But yeah, yeah. What do you think about Half Wheel? Like, do you think they're in the same league as Cigar Fish now?
for the reviews, and they're pretty good on that.
Yeah.
You know, but
I
I don't
usually
know.
don't
I
just
would.
rely on one reviewer's review. I'll usually do a little bit of more research. So even
You know
if,
which guy makes me laugh a lot, and he's kind of crazy.
what,
What's his name? He's only on the. He's only it's called Con something. You know what I'm talking about? His name is Con with a K.
no, I don't know if I know him.
Somebody has to know his name. It's Con something. It's like he only with a K. He has he's been reviewing cigars. Uh, he's been reviewing cigars forever, but his reviews are so ridiculous. And like he'll be reviewing a cigar, but then he just goes off on tangents about
Uh,
not the cigar. but about just some random story or some random thing that happened, and then he'll come back to the cigar. But his reviews are, when I say they're ridiculous, like he gives great cigars, like some of the worst numbers. Like, one time
Uh,
it was like a high-end Fuente. He's like, yeah, 78 out of 100. You're like, what? Like, what is this guy? Dude, you never heard of Khan? K? Does
no,
any
I have never heard of him. Yeah. Is he
Khan?
online on YouTube or
Look,
what? You froze up. Yeah, I haven't heard of him. If anybody knows the name, I'll check it out just for entertainment value.
I got it. Catman. Katman. Catman.
That name
You
rings
know?
a bell.
Yeah,
That
Phil
name
Cat.
does ring a bell. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that familiar with him, but the name rings a bell, so I might have heard
Dude,
of him.
if you want to laugh, look at Catman's cigar reviews about cigars you like, and just read how he talks about them. It's like
He shits on all the great cigars and like gives the bad ones good reviews.
some ways, but also anything general, like general, it shits all over general. Like, I don't know why.
Mm.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like, everything is just. He's definitely a snob, but like he's full of shit. And but
Well,
it's enjoyable though. It'll make you.
yeah, I mean, I can understand maybe shitting on some General cigars, but not all of them. I mean, I did enjoy I enjoy some General cigars, but they have changed. Like, I'm not a huge General fan like I
Yeah.
used to be, or at least the some of the brands. But if he's shitting on General and then he's shitting on Fuente, like what? Who else is left? Is he just giving the boutique brands good reviews? I don't know.
I have to go back and look up specific reviews, but like every time I look up a cigar review and just see information, anytime I read his stuff, it's just like
Well, did he give any? Are there any cigars he gave great reviews for that?
I have I dude,
Yeah,
oh,
I'll
top
look
of my
him
head,
up.
I can't look them up while I'm on the live because whatever. But yeah, look up that's some funny shit. If you want tonight, look at some funny shit, and just look up the flavor notes he's talking about. Like, if you think the 60-second guy goes out there,
This guy's picking up. If he's picking up more flavors than him, I
yeah,
sometimes
like
I just watch those channels just to see what flavors they come up with. Like they're
but
just so outrageous. Like
in
it's
it's only in writing, so it's different, and because it's only like a blog, and for example, he could be talking about something like, "Oh yeah, this cigar, these notes reminded me of a Pink Floyd concert I went to in 1978." Like, what the fuck are you talking? Like, gun, and
like
he's
where
so
are these cigars? I gotta try 'em, man. Like they're like every cigar reviewer. I almost feel like every cigar they smoke is the most complex cigar in the world. It's
dude.
like
This
they're not
guy,
that complex. I mean, some are, but
dude,
not
yeah,
not
but
every single cigar is a complex cigar.
dude, this guy goes off on tangents. Like every puff, like he's giving different transitions. Like you can't believe his notes and transitions. Like,
Uh,
uh, you know,
well, he's not alone, man. Like I think most of the reviewers online, I almost feel like that's what keeps them relevant is that they have to have these crazy like descriptions of the cigars in order to
yeah,
keep like the viewer interested. Like if they
yeah.
were just like like a real, if they gave a real review, I think people would be like, it's not interesting. I'm gonna tune out. But if it's like every single puff is some new exotic flavor, then you're kind of just like, oh, okay, what are you picking up? But it's like you smoke that same cigar, and it's like, what the fuck? I did
Yeah,
not get.
he's getting notes of taco meat and Lucky Charms, and yeah, shut up, it's because I'm better than you, and
Mm,
like, that's the kind of mentality. Like, what I'm saying, like where this is the source to get our news. Like, hey, this guy can't. And if you want to laugh, like I said,
check him out. Yeah, I'll definitely. I'll probably watch him tonight.
no, you can't watch it. It's only reading. You have to read it.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a, only in words. It's a blog. You know what I'm
Oh, it's a
saying?
blog. Okay, I'm sorry, I missed
But
that.
I'm saying it's been out forever, and like I think he makes. I don't know how he makes money. I'm sure because people always send him cigars and like No, I'm pretty sure he probably did pretty well off it, and I'm sure he gets kickbacks and put it this way, before things were really going on YouTube, this guy, he's been doing this for a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
So he probably
that
writes.
explains a that explains a lot because I think a lot of the YouTube reviewers might have been influenced by him from what I when I watched
Yeah, no,
their reviews.
believing your own bullshit. I can't. That's why I don't have any major. What do you call it? Nobody sponsors. I can't bullshit. And for me, it's not even. To me, the cigar is still secondary. I'm all about hanging out with the guys. Like
Mm,
I'm saying, these guys, they're so full of it, and none of these guys on, for the most part, on YouTube, you'd want to hang out with. What you want?
yeah.
Name one cigar guy on YouTube that like, yo, let's go hang out with this guy every day for the rest of my life. Which guy? Which guy would you want to hang out with?
I actually did think about hanging out with Cigar Obsession at one point in time, but he's no longer on YouTube.
Yeah,
I just want to smoke some of the cigars he smoked because he had some good shit on or expensive shit. I'm like, where is he? How's he spending all this money on these cigars? Like, he must have a really good
but
job.
but do you think a cigar obsession? If you were somewhere with him and shit went down, do you think he would get your back? I don't think so. I don't think.
Nah, probably not. Well, he might
I don't.
be able to defend me with them tiki torches that he had in his
Yeah,
backyard.
dude, I think that guy. He looks like the kind of guy out and call HR and get you fired. Say like he's just,
I actually
you
think he
know,
lives in Tampa, so
yeah,
I might run into him one day.
yeah. Uh, you know, I think the only person everyone will hear or want to hang out with is the vixen.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, yeah,
Who wouldn't?
yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Though, if I could get my girlfriend to smoke cigars, my numbers would go up astronomical. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Though,
yeah.
if I could get my girl to smoke cigars in a push-up bra and tight dress and just I can't get her to do it though. You know what I'm saying? Though,
Well,
I
she
could get
buys you cigars, so she probably just that experience of going into a shop and learning.
yeah.
Just talking to the people. She probably already like can make some recommendations that most women cannot. So
I don't know, we'll see, man. But I don't think she's gonna do it. It is what you know. It is.
you're a
It
lucky
could
man, though.
no, you're a good girl. I mean, there's two major benefits. We split the rent, and I get a lot of sex. So
Can't beat that. And you get cigars from her.
yeah, I guess say no. It's she's listen. All women are crazy to live with. They are, trust me. But it's more good than bad. You know what I'm saying though, and
Yeah.
it goes to bed early, 7:30, 8 o'clock. So I can have another girlfriend from like 8:31 to like 5 in the. I can have a whole nother life she wouldn't even know. Dude, I need. Maybe I'll talk to the DVD guy. I just need a nighttime girlfriend. You know what I'm saying?
They'll deliver one in a balloon.
Yeah. Oh, nighttime girlfriend. 1,000.
Yeah. And she'll
Yeah,
cook and clean for you too.
yeah, yeah. I could literally have a girlfriend come over at 9 o'clock at night, and oh, you just can't go in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying?
It's cheaper than some of the my fathers for one of those
Yeah,
girlfriends.
no, like it's what it is. Now, for the record, I'm not going to do that. It's a joke, but
No, no,
I think I
no.
think my get mad about that. You know what I'm
A
saying?
little bit.
A little. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know, man. It's funny. I knew this, say girl, but she was a woman. She was a young woman back in the day, and she used to have guys pay her to clean her house. You know, naked. She would clean.
Mm.
She would clean, guys' houses, like single men's houses.
Yeah,
She'd
I
come
remember hearing about that.
Dude,
Yeah.
she was like 20 years old, man, and she was rocking. And
Oh yeah.
she, and she would charge a good amount of money, man. And so imagine you have a girl come over to sweep and mop and clean your bath,
Naked.
and and there's no crime. I mean, it's legal.
Yeah.
You know what though, bro? That's an option. No one's gonna pay Big Firm to come over and clean the grill with his balls out. Like, hey, what's Big Firm? I need you to dust up there. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe in the old age homes. I can make
Yeah,
some money.
it's dirty old ladies,
I'm just
saying,
working the nursing homes, as long as I can afford,
quarter,
some nice cigars.
I dropped a quarter under the couch. Can you get it for me, Sonny?
I dropped a quarter under my wheelchair.
Your balls. But that's what I'm saying. When
The
people say,
tennis, I got some tennis balls in the way. I can't get through your walker.
dude, dude, no man will ever have that option. Like this girl literally made a living off for cleaning people's house, and she made good money, man. And like
Well,
and she reported
yeah,
to the because it was cash, And
yeah.
dude, I mean, I imagine she had like business cards. That'd be hysterical. What would you call that business?
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's a lot of
I
names I could probably think of, though.
yeah, I'm thinking like whole house cleaning. You know,
Well, they
you
got
know,
now. They got the OnlyFans. That's the thing now is that they,
yeah,
these young
yeah,
girls go on to OnlyFans and they don't even have. They leave their house and then they
yeah,
just rake in money. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
yeah,
The
yeah.
internet.
It's great. Yeah, my girlfriend, one of the girls at her job, sells her socks. She wears socks, and guys buy her dirty socks.
Oh man, it's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've heard some crazy stories, man. You kind of wonder that these people that one the people themselves like what's going through their head, but then the money that they'll spend for these things, it's just like, come on.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Uh, it's
this is the
ash.
world we live in.
It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
yeah. I don't have. I mean, it's, what do girls want to buy? My cigar ash. Yeah, I smoked a cigar for you, baby. Oh wow, yeah. I mean,
I know I made it in life when a woman
yes,
wants to buy my cigar ashes.
yeah, yeah,
I'm sure there
yeah,
are some out there that'll do it, so you never
yeah.
know. There's always,
Who knows? Who knows, man? But I don't know,
yeah,
man. But I'm gonna get to sleep because uh, I'm gonna need to get some rest because tomorrow I gotta have sex, so I need energy.
yeah. It was good. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
Uh,
bro.
I hope your feet get better soon, and
Hey,
just
listen,
take it easy.
if I die, I die. This is what
Uh,
you know.
well, no, let's not say that, but you'll heal up. You're still young. I'm a little older than you, but it
Yeah,
does take a little longer to heal, but you'll heal up.
I'll be all right, man. Hey, okay, last thing. Who do you got for tomorrow? Who's gonna win?
Of course, the Eagles, man. I'm from Philly, so we've only won one Super Bowl, and actually, if they win, I'm gonna actually go. I've never, even though I lived my whole life, Philly, South Jersey. I've never been. I've never experienced like a championship. So, like the last time they won the Super Bowl, I was in Hawaii. So, if they win this time around, I'm definitely gonna fly over to Philly for the parade. So,
Yeah, I
yeah, I
agree
might
with
be in Philly next week.
you. I think Philly's gonna win. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I hope so. And if they don't, hey, they got to the Super Bowl. I'm proud of them for getting that far. So, but they got a good team. They got a strong team this year. So, I'm rooting for the Eagles. And
Well, I look forward to Zach doing the halftime show.
what's oh yeah, who's I don't even know who's performing the halftime show this year.
Zach, Zach is doing it.
Who is
Zach,
Zach?
Zach.
Oh, Zach's gonna be performing the halftime show. It'll be
Yeah,
dark. No one will
yeah.
see him. Zach's a good guy, I guess.
I love. I'm saying, but Zach's gonna do it. He's gonna have all the birds flying around. He's.
As long as they don't attack the crowd, then we're okay.
It's just you're just gonna see the cherry from his cigar. Saying
No,
though.
it's gonna be Sam Smith. That's who's gonna perform.
Oh, dude, I can't imagine more than that. Dude. Uh, uh,
That'll ruin the halftime show, maybe. But
just, just,
I don't know. He has a
uh,
big following, so maybe some people will watch it.
yeah, we'll see. I don't know, man. How many guys in thongs can you watch dancing? You're like, oh my god. Like, you know,
Yeah,
but
but I hope they win, and I'll be watching, and hopefully, if for those that are watching are Eagles fans, and don't care who's gonna win, pray for my team.
yeah. Oh, bro, I'll see you around, bro. You stay fresh, man.
Yeah, you too. Take care now. Heal up.
EDE.
Watch
I
out
see
for
you.
the balloons.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'll see you tomorrow with the aliens flying around the Iron Dome. Saying, you know,
The aliens with penises.
yeah, I, bro. I mean, we'll. See. I think after the Bowl, I think next week we're going to be in World War III. So
Mm.
it is
Hide
what
the
it is.
cigars, man. Smoke your best shit. If you got it,
But
smoke it.
that's what's going to happen. Like guys like Geo, it's going to be World War III, and and the humidor is going to shut off because he's have no power. I told him, smoke your best shit. Smoke your best shit, man. You know.
Yeah, man. I'll be going. I'm gonna go to. I'm going to Sokka's house though. That's Sokka make room for me.
Oh
I'm coming over.
yeah, we'll make a fort at Asako's house in Malibu. You know,
He's got he's got the full arsenal, so I know I'm
well,
safe.
got set up. Saying though, you got sky's the limit.
He's got the war room.
Yeah,
Just hang out in the war room or the bunker.
yeah, yeah. It's we got the secret weapon. We got Sack, so we'll be all right.
Yeah, yeah. We got Sack and
So
Sokko. Keep
yeah,
us
that's
safe.
it. I'll,
It's the dirty dozen.
yeah,
uh,
man. I'll
all
see
right,
you
well,
tomorrow.
yeah, yeah.
And
It's good talking to you. Take care, everybody. See you
peace
later.
out. See you later.